Because the universe works in specific ways. Alan actually suffered the consequences of the voodoo curse he put on me after the last episode when he put it on my soul that it was okay.
Oh my God!
And then
oh my God!
Yes.
Oh my
and
God!
then he vanquished as written.
Alan put it on his soul that OKC is 6.
Strap.
And this is not here.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JAAM. It's JJ, ABEE.
This is terrible.
And Matt, bro.
This is terrible.
The way it never is.
The way it never is.
The way it never is.
Alan,
bro.
unfortunately, will not be here for this episode. We went 18 episodes without incident, and he got under the weather, man.
We low-key almost had an incident. What was it, like episode
You
5?
were
I was
sick.
sick as shit.
Remember he thugged it out?
I had the suds.
Bro,
the power
I was
through that,
literally
bro.
thinking, bro, I'm like, man, we could just thug it out. You know what I'm saying? Alan could thug it out. I'm going to get that nigga some tea.
man.
All that. Bro.
Man.
He was
thinking,
deteriorating by the hour.
by the hour, man.
By the hour.
We thought it was like, yo, common cold. Maybe it's some seasonal, like flu-like symptom. Nah, we don't know what he got, but he got some sort of virus. Being a good person, trying to take care of his baby sister and shit. So,
Wicked.
Yeah.
well,
Shout
wishes
out,
to
Alan. We miss you,
shout
bro.
out.
Follow his Instagram.
Everybody
It's Alan.
spam W Allen
And
down in the
spam
comments.
follow Soho Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's like moral support for real.
Yeah,
for
show
real.
him some love.
And buy a shirt. You know what I mean? And then Social Security if you want to.
What are you planning, man? The reason why we need you to show him that love is because he's gonna be so sick because he's gonna miss a jam-packed episode, man.
Yeah.
We got we're gonna be talking a little bit about shakeups
Everything.
that have happened in the world.
Yeah.
Literally
He's also
everything.
missing the celebration episode because let me talk my shit one time.
Yeah.
Zohran came
You know
through
what
with
I
the
mean?
you
My
dig?
boy,
Zohran.
belt to ass. Belt to ass.
Hey, so we're going to talk just a little bit about that. We're going to get into a little bit of the basketball because the finals did just wrap up and our worst fear has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
We're
my
stupid
Oh
and didn't
my
get a
God.
damn picture.
We'll get into that.
We'll talk a little bit about Love Island and then some happenings that were happening in our city this past week. And then,
And then.
oh my goodness.
They don't even know
Y'all
like,
have even
remotely.
We didn't
Yeah,
even
we
tease it
didn't-
at the end
we
of
didn't
last
tease
episode.
anything, nah.
We have our second guest coming up right after that.
Who's our second guest?
Who's our
They
guest?
gonna have to find.
They gonna have to find
Yeah,
out.
Don't click on that timeline button. Do not skip ahead. Do not look at the chapter title.
I
Just
ain't gonna
let
lie,
it.
it might be in the title of the
It
video.
might be.
though.
It's gonna be on thumbnail. Just act like you didn't see the thumbnail or title, and let us cook.
Yeah,
let us cook.
But yeah, if you do go on to enjoy today's episode, what do they need to do? Alan would say it if he wasn't here.
Let
if he
me.
was
I
here.
gotta make sure that
What?
we.
So
Do
Matt,
they- bro, why aren't they sharing?
Why are y'all not sharing the video? Now, if I slap the shit out, you know what I mean? Please share the video. You know what I mean?
Where can they find us?
Where could they find it? They can find us on Spotify, on Acast, on Apple Music, on iHeart, on Prime.
Oh, he locked in.
On YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram.
Oh, shit. I heard it. I don't know something. All the other
Acast.
things.
Wait, did I say?
No,
I think you might
No,
have.
nah.
All of the other platforms. He said no.
Pocket cash, yes, sir.
All the other platforms that were not mentioned can be found in the link tree. So please click that. Follow us
True,
wherever
yeah.
you watch podcasts. We're everywhere. And thank you guys for the amazing love and support. Still week by week growing. We're at like
what?
23
23 on Instagram, 22 on
22.3
TikTok.
on TikTok or some shit.
11.4.
Yeah, 11.4 on YouTube.
YouTube.
Crazy.
Man.
We hit 10K last week.
We did.
Crazy.
And also we're about to hit 100 reviews on Spotify. So
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Have we
Leave
still
review
not
on
received
Spotify.
below a 5
Never
star?
received
No.
below a 5-star.
that's crazy.
Tell your granny about it.
Lock in. Lock in.
Lock
in,
in. But let's stop the delay and get into some good shit. So as we got to do catching up with the fam, what has happened since last pod. a big seismic shift has happened in this country since the last podcast.
Yes.
If you do recall, we've talked about 2 elections on this podcast. It was, I cannot remember her name, but it was the Supreme Court justice in Wisconsin that Elon was trying to buy.
Yup, and she won.
BTA got their ass blown out. And then we officially, well, kind of officially endorsed Zohran Mamdani, covered the race, been following it really close. And he pulled up the upset of a century.
I don't
beating
even-
a Cuomo in New York politics. He used to be
badly.
He didn't even, no prediction had him getting above like 35% in the first round.
You at 43?
43.
And the thing is, a lot of people voted for Andrew Cuomo because I feel like they know his brother off CNN. So, hey, familiar.
Cuomo, Cuomo,
and
that
he
last
was
name,
governor of New York, and he was good until he
wasn't good.
he wasn't good. Until them sexual assault allegations in them hospital beds happened. But
what that does though, that actually makes me like have more
hopeful.
like great, hopeful, like grace for humanity on some shit.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, okay,
Is this what
we're not all
hope feels
fucked. Like Jesus.
Is this
If
what hope
y'all,
feels
if y'all
like?
remember too, like couple years, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you mentioned socialist to anybody.
Yeah.
It's like cancer. It's like HIV.
And that's crazy, bro. And how far we've come, because I think fundamentally I've always thought about, like, regardless of whether or not you agree with the ideology, it should never be a turnoff that someone has a different perspective.
Right.
Especially when half the country is currently like vibing with Nazism. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people in the country have had enough. They just want to have good policies that make their life better. And this is now like
This is that
warning
age.
sign.
This is the age of people hearing that though. Like
Yes.
what we've talked about for so long, where we were literally talking about it yesterday, where we talk about all the time how you have to meet people where they're at. And not only that, but especially as politicians, you have to be human.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to vote for you if you are not human, especially in this day and age.
That authenticity.
And the young generation as well. Like,
Yeah, we can see through that shit a lot.
Yeah.
The clear difference between Mamdani's campaign and Cuomo's campaign is like damn near night and day.
Yeah,
Like,
it is night and day.
outside, Like every day, that shit was crazy.
I told JJ,
bro.
I was like, bro, that's the one thing that's making me like hopeful for the race is because I'm like, he outside every day.
Yeah.
He on every block. He at every party. You know what I'm saying? That
And
nigga
he-
Cuomo just sitting there in parks and shit. Like,
And
you know what I
he
mean?
stands on what he believes in, even if there are people who disagree with him, and he's willing to like hear out that perspective. He just comes off as a very good, like a nice person,
Yeah,
normal
cool
person.
dude.
And I've told people around me too, like one of the biggest things that we're missing in this era is people who, at the very minimum, even if they disagree with you, they can feel like you're a real person.
Yeah.
And Zohran hit that perfectly on the head. When it comes to campaigns that I followed, I have seen, I don't have a campaign that I favor more that he ran. I think he did everything he had to do.
You see
and
that
it
nigga
showed
was
out.
rapping?
Yeah,
that nigga was rapping and shit.
And we're still in the, and I feel like the
Shit was
Cuomo,
ass, but-
the Cuomo
Still
era
public.
was. It's funny. I'm pretty
was
sure he
bun.
beat that too, which is why he stopped. But
Yeah.
but at least like the Cuomo like era is still like the era of politics where we take something like that and use that as an attack. I feel like a lot of people just kind of found like it was refreshing. He's just a human. He tried different things. We all
Right.
tried some cringy shit at one time. And
In
it
a
still
weird-
doesn't take away from the policies he wants to do and the plan. So that should matter at the end of the day.
In a weird way, like, that's kind of how Trump won the first time, was that like being seen as a person thing,
Come
like
on,
that
man.
perspective, that framing, like carries you with this shit sometimes, and that's literally what carried that nigga.
Yeah.
Same shit.
There's so many
And
people.
Democrats.
There's so many people who applied, who like had and agreed with a lot of the shit that Trump says, even though I don't think they have good reason to. But they felt that because they finally felt seen, and that like racism, that bigotry, all that shit that's still in America for all types of other reasons, kind of boiled up and manifested itself with Trump. I feel like Zohran is the inverse example of there's a lot of people who've given up on the political process and they said fuck it because no politician gives a fuck, and he finally found a way to connect with some of them people. So let's see if we learn from it, Dems, or if we bullshit again.
Yeah, please.
See what they do at
a
the
lot of
DNC
shit
on
just
some
shifted.
shit.
But yeah, good news all around. Finally,
W.
got some good
Finally.
news.
This is a big turning point as well because there's a lot of issues that people been fucking with.
Yeah.
And now the Dems like, oh shit, okay, hold on, this actually works. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would hope. I hope that they.
True.
That they
Or
say
they're like,
that.
condemn
There's
it
no-
all.
You about to
it
see-
all to hell.
You about to see the flip of doom. I seen Joyanne Reed just went on CNN and was talking to people, and I'm hearing the everyone rich gonna leave New York City. Stop it.
No. It's not happening.
Everyone rich. Let's say that
what
3 times. Let's click our heels and say that shit 3 times. Everyone rich gonna leave New York City.
I just seen
It was
Vic
like a
Star.
2% hike. In taxes.
Yeah. His
Ain't
plan
nothing
was
shit.
yeah.
Extra 20,000.
Yeah, and I
What are we- like, what
you
are
want
we
to know what I
talking
seen
about?
the night he won? I seen Vic Star 123 and a bunch of other influencers live streaming in Times Square. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
I promise you.
This
We'll
nigga
be okay.
JJ was telling me that nigga Vic Star. This is so off.
We
topic.
can't get
Yeah,
into
he
him because we will be
though.
talking. He
That is
DJ.
crazy. Shout
what
out to
happened?
Vic
Vic Star
Star
is a-
DJ.
He's a DJ now?
Yeah, he a Minecraft YouTuber and member of the Sidemen, British YouTube group that I've been watching since I was a little kid. And I was binge watching him. Like, he's my favorite YouTuber. And then I tuned out from him for a little bit as I got older, and I tuned back in, and he's like a global artist DJ. He has
Crazy.
more monthly listeners than KSI.
Crazy.
What the fuck?
He done ran up a bag on
Hey, that was squirrel. That was like squirrel brain
Squirrel
as
is brain
hell.
as
But
hell.
like,
Yeah.
But speaking of another pivotal turning point, there were some pivotal turning points that I seen in the television world with this Love Island shit,
bro.
So
We got the Love Island expert, Matthew.
Yeah, man, let me lock
it
in.
usually would be a dual task for Matt and Allen,
Bro,
but in his absence, we gonna have to chop it up with him. I watched just a
nigga.
little bit of one of the biggest episodes that just dropped. It had the whole internet in a frenzy. Then he told me another episode came out last night. He was a little emotional,
Bro.
So what's been going on in Love Island?
I shed a few tears. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler warning.
big
If you're
spoiler
not
warning.
catched up, please skip this part because I'm about to spoil all the shit. You know what I mean? Love Island is crazy. And well, I kind of grew up. The crazy thing is I kind of grew up watching like my mom would put on like Love is Blind, and not really grew up, I wouldn't say that, but like she would put on like Love is Blind. She put on like the what's that other one called, like Married at First Sight or some bullshit.
My mom was a big Bachelor fan.
so-
Yeah, I never. You know what's crazy? I never watched that.
Really,
I never watched Bachelor or
the
Bachelorette.
only like interaction I had with shows similar to Love Island was when I would like occasionally be watching the Bachelor with
Yeah.
my mama back in the day.
That shit bang, but Love Island is different.
Yeah,
Love Island
It's
is like,
different.
I feel like it's different because, at least for me, maybe it's
they
just because I'm
freaky as hell.
not even because you know what's freaky? Too Hot to Handle is freaky as a mother.
What's
Oh,
that?
they-
That's a
my
whole
my
other
girl
show?
be watching that shit.
I don't know.
too.
They be on Netflix.
They
just
be
fucking just
yeah.
wicked.
Yeah.
And Love Island the same way, they be fucking too.
So it is some freak ball.
but like, bro, no. What it is to me, it's because it's right there. Like the episodes drop every night, so it's a new episode every single night. Like every 9 p.m. It's right in front of you, and you following along with the people lives. You can vote on who you want out, all types of shit. So it's actually crazy. The reason why this episode was crazy was because a nigga that was like, two legacy people got like voted off. Legacy as in like, I guess they had been there the whole time, got voted off. Nigga, I was leaking. I can't lie.
And there was- yeah.
My nigga Nick, bro. Shout out my nigga Nick, bro.
Damn,
That nigga.
they got Nick.
Yeah, they got that nigga
I'm
Nick.
barely familiar with who Nick is.
Nick, bro. Nick like, how do I explain it? Nick, that one white boy you just allow at the lunch table for real. He a cool dude,
Yeah,
but like,
we had a couple of those.
he like exactly. He like on the cusp of like
A
racist white boy, but also on the cusp of like
Understand.
Yeah, like you get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get it, bro. If you get it, you get it. So yeah, shout out my nigga Nick. But yeah, and then Alondria, another girl, she got voted off. She was like this gorgeous ass black woman.
Was it the like?
It wasn't the one. No, it wasn't Shelly.
Oh, no,
it wasn't
okay,
Shelly.
Okay,
but it was Alondra. She bad as hell too. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Get
she
mad
got
on Love
voted off.
Island. We told y'all last episode.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's just sad, bro. It's sad, bro, because I feel like a lot of people deserve to get voted off that should not be there.
I was
Like,
gonna say,
I heard my girl, she was watching it, and when I went in the room, she was like, man, I hate this nigga, man.
Bro.
I'm like, who you talking about? She was talking about like this short ass nigga.
that nigga Ace.
Everybody hate Ace. I ain't been hearing nothing but bullshit
Bro,
about
so-
Ace.
it's
so
like
let me-
that nigga was sitting on his couch and his feet was like levitating.
Yeah, bro, they had a picture and everybody was on the couch and every nigga on that show, that's why I can't be on it. Every nigga on that show is sick, bro. The niggas that just came is 6'8", 6'9", 6'6".
What the
yeah,
hell?
just all tall as shit. That nigga Ace like 5'7". His shit just like his feet like this tall. Yes, bro.
Damn, he the one that
And
nobody
it's-
like.
Yeah, and it's crazy because she was like, everybody like follows his lead type shit.
Let me tell you what it is. The thing about Ace, and I called this shit out the first time. To me, I think he a cool dude. I actually fuck with what he do on social media. What he do on social media, he be having motherfuckers. He be just like spreading positivity on social media. So I fuck with that. What I don't fuck with is, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga seem a little lame to me. Like a nigga like me. And the reason why is because he's sneaky, bro. The nigga, he a shit starter. But also he's I would say like a leader within that group.
Yeah.
So it's like you can just feel when the nigga he not even a shit star, he a hater. That's
you can
what it is.
and you wanna know what it is? I feel like you can genuinely tell when that he's the one who was like, oh, we can't live in the past, right? As soon as bro got voted off, the last episode,
can't live in the past.
Remember, it was
crazy.
they voted off those two people, like that one Trump supporting ass nigga who hasn't done shit the whole time. He got to stay. But they voted, and that nigga, I think like the next episode, he's like, yeah, it's a shame that they're both gone, but he can't live in the past, and like immediately trying to. We know why you got the nigga off.
Mind you, in the new episode, the nigga, his homeboy is caked up with this other girl. She gorgeous as hell too. The nigga is sitting there with Nick on the couch like, you know, I just don't know if it's right for him. Bro, this nigga is a hater, and I keep telling people, it's so many people that fuck with Ace, but it's also hella people that don't. The people that fuck with Ace, I think it's a red flag. He a hater, bro.
He come off a little bit.
He come off as a nigga.
The type of dude you talk to a girl and the other he walk by. Damn, that's your back door.
But you know what it is, bro? He the type of nigga that if he rock with a nigga for real, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's his dog.
Yeah.
But if he don't, he gon' like two-face your shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's P. I don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
So fuck that little ass nigga.
Yeah.
I think you know what's crazy. I think that I just said fuck that little ass nigga. I think he's taller than me. So
yeah,
I really can't.
But he really the only role
I'm done for.
He really the only role model we have. It just so happens unfortunate.
But nah, Love Island crazy as hell. I can't fucking believe they voted out fucking Hannah.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have voted out fucking Hannah. They should have voted out Amaya. They should have voted out of Maya. You know what I mean?
And ABEE still have a lot of catching up to do. I have made my decision that I'm going to try to get started on at least episode 1. If y'all need me to watch the other seasons, let me know. But I'm going to try to get started on this season.
I'm not going back. It's 7 seasons. I'll start at
7 seasons. I'm starting at this one.
Episode 1, season 7.
I'm going to give it a chance because I really want to be able to have a high level dialogue.
Or do we need to go back and watch everything?
I feel like
at least this season.
I don't think so. I don't really think you. I started like not season. I started like episode like 7.
Of the whole,
of this season. So I didn't even watch this full season either, just because I didn't know shit about it. I don't think you need to. You pick it up, so I don't think you need to. I would say like, Hannah getting voted off was crazy. Amaya should have been voted off because Hannah had a connection with another nigga. Should have been voted off. She got voted off. Fucking insane. Amaya ain't built a connection with like 4 niggas. Vote her to fuck off. No disrespect to her. She a cool girl. It's just, you feel me? I leaked. I was leaking because I needed to let that off. You know what I'm saying? As a man, we can't be afraid to let the tears flow. You know what I mean? So I had a tear flow. It wasn't like I was crying.
It's well enough thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, damn.
I will say, if there is one thing to cry about, it is because we're gonna talk about this next week. I promise you when we have more time. But we were talking about the example that these niggas are setting for men because we've seen universally the backlash has been like, oh, this group of men is some bullshit. Like they all acting like some bullshit. To hear one of the good ones, like Nick got voted out too, it can't bode well.
You know what's crazy? Nick is one of the good ones, but Nick is a whore. Like that's all it is. You know what I mean? Like, and I respect it because you know what I'm saying. Whore respect whore, but at the same time, that's crazy. Nah, Look,
what respect?
Look, I respect it. I respect it because if you gonna be a whore, at least live in your purpose.
Yeah, live in your purpose. Don't try to
wise man.
Yeah, exactly. So I respect it, but the men fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and something else that's fucked up.
Because of DJ Academics.
Just all come back to them. Right. Something else that is actually fucked up with the world, though. Not even with the world, just kind of like the local community. We had Black Yacht Week in Chicago. The weather's been hot. It's been a heat advisory.
Weather's been hot.
It's been 95
It's been fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's been hell. It's been boiling, and it's been like that in a lot of cities across the country. But climate change don't exist, y'all. So But basically,
95 in Nebraska. Don't worry.
a bunch of people have flown in from all across like the world and the country to have Black Yacht Week in Chicago. It's been advertised everywhere. People have been calling it Shyammy, which we still
Don't do that
don't
bullshit.
disrespect us.
Yeah,
with that
Go the
bullshit.
fuck home.
Stop it.
Nah, don't even start all
Don't
that
disrespect
bullshit.
us with that
He
bullshit.
being nice and shit.
I'm saying word verbatim. Don't disrespect us with that
It
bullshit.
was so crazy though because I seen one of the clubs that we went to, the Y Bar, like they posted a whole like thank you letter because I guess they shit was packed the fuck out. Like every single club bar was packed the fuck out.
Damn, yeah.
I
So
saw a whole bunch of like people couldn't get into clubs and
Yeah.
shit because it was so packed.
we seen and people couldn't get on yachts too. We wanted to try to be a part of it. We couldn't because they booked that up months in advance. But then we ended up finding out that at least more than one person, or at least one person, lost their life
Jesus Christ.
over the weekend in some accident. The water conditions
rip
were kind of
tides,
fucked
yeah.
up. Yeah, because the weather's been acting out of whack. So a lot of people were like dangerous. The seas were dangerous. People still wanted to be a part of it. I think you said one girl fell like in the water.
Yeah, she fell in the water. And
Tragic
she passed.
shit.
Yeah,
Tragic.
that's
Please stay safe
Lake
out there if you
Michigan,
gonna have
bro.
fun.
Like,
Bro,
it's not low like
Lake
pool.
Michigan ain't no normal lake.
We got
it look like an
I don't
ocean
know
to most
why.
people.
Well, it's not even. I don't know why. It's just because people not from here. People be thinking Lake Michigan is like some like pond or something.
No.
I see people
This is a
who
great
like
lake.
I see people who've only ever heard of Lake Michigan and they come here and they be like, holy shit. Like
Yeah,
it's like
no.
breathtaking. It's a big ass lake. It's dangerous.
We have a beach. In
Yeah,
we
we
got
have multiple
multiple.
beaches. So
Crazy
please
hell.
stay safe out there if you're gonna have fun, especially when liquor's involved. That shit's scary. Y'all bullshit.
Yeah, and y'all off the deuce. Come on,
Come on, man. You can't be off the fucking
Can't be off the Don
Don
Julio
Julio.
acting the Julio and shit.
Don-
when your life
Acting
in danger.
Julio.
Fuck. So but hopefully everyone who did stay safe had a good time. I know y'all did. It's Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
did.
And then finally, we'll talk about this topic more at length with our guests. Teaser. The NBA Finals just wrapped up. My soul is gone, and actually,
I don't even
because
wanna
the
get it.
universe works in specific ways, Alan actually suffered the consequences of the voodoo curse he put on me after the last episode when he put it on my soul that it was okay.
Oh my God.
And then
Oh my God.
yes.
Oh my
and
God.
then he vanquished as written.
Alan put it on his soul that OKC is 6.
Strap.
And
The nigga got here.
and this nigga's not here.
So
Oh my God.
it was OKC in 7 actually.
Oh my God.
And I don't know Alan's whereabouts currently, so we'll keep y'all posted.
Fuck
But
it.
Shay pulled through. I think he won Finals MVP,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. I think so. I
OKC
can't remember.
won, and our dumbasses stood on the elevator next to Shay, Julius Alexander, and we did not get a picture.
I want us to have like a full blown conversation about this.
And Alan's not here as written because he wasn't here when this happened.
We gotta like.
We stood there as dunces and watched it happen. The opportunity. Shay just let a bunch of fans in OKC touch the trophy with him, and they were celebrating, and we couldn't ask bro for a picture.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence. No, that's really what it is.
No,
Moment of silence.
Rest in
Moment
peace
of
to Jam. And now, here we go with the second guest on the Jam. Our guest is a political strategist and a pollster. He's a senior research manager at Hit Strategies. He's an expert in qualitative and quantitative data research, multicultural research and analysis, a focus group leadership, political campaign strategies, and message development. He's also been featured in the New York Times, the Washington Post, Bloomberg News, Politico, ABC, and NBC.
Who are we interviewing?
Who are we
Jesus
interviewing?
himself?
Welcome to the show, our second guest ever, Josh Dawes.
Let's go, boy.
Clap it up for my man.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Fun.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm as good as you could be, given the context of the world and Love Island and everything that's going on. I'm doing all right.
Man, welcome. I know that a lot of people jaws just hit the floor, bro, because he just stopping in on a random day. But this is not random. We all from Chicago.
Yeah,
Bro, you know how many people don't know that?
I didn't know you was
What
from.
part from Chicago are you?
I'm from out west.
Out west.
Yeah, I didn't know you was from Chicago.
Yeah?
Until
How? It's in my bio.
just one day randomly you said something. I was like, let me find out this. And then I think I looked it up and I was like, damn, you from out here? That's crazy.
Before we get into anything,
True.
I know who you are, who leaves the comment every week. Come on, we have not forgotten the fit check.
I low-key
As
forgot
always,
about
you
that bitch.
I forgot about it.
Forgot about that bitch. I'm like, what is he about
I
to
just
say
read
right
it and I was like, oh shit.
We have to start with our guests first, as tradition. What do you got on? You can start
got
from the
that shit
shoes.
on.
Got
Yeah.
that shit on.
Everything fake. I got a fake watch. I got some fake jewelry. You know what I'm saying?
That been glistening.
That
huh?
been-
It's dancing,
banging.
but it only danced for like a day or two. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to replace it. And then I got my little, I got my vice president.
Shout out
to
you on the
That's some
shirt.
cargos. I ain't do nothing crazy with the shoes. I just got the forces.
Nah, that's hard.
I'm with the
like
YN, so I was like, I gotta come hard. Oh yeah, yeah.
The glasses too, you know
Yeah,
what
I don't know. It's not nothing special, but I tried to put that shit on. Yeah.
hard.
Nah, shit tough, shit
W.
tough. Do we want to go in JAAM format? Because we're not jam today.
Yeah,
you gotta jump.
Yes, sir. If you look over here, I got shit, the McQueen.
You got the McQueen
Got the ripped jeans, it's got to be like the 10th of 18 episodes he's made an appearance. But then you got the Cubs jersey,
Take the chain out.
My team doing good. I got the chains going and
You know what I
everything.
mean?
Little bracelet on.
Swarovski on the wrist.
Hold on.
What's jam?
Okay, it will be ABEE next.
Your boy always come with the BBC on the shirt.
Still sponsor your boy.
It's almost 20 episodes. What are y'all doing?
I can't sit right here, bro. I pointed right here. Sponsor me. Yes, sir. We got the BBC shorts, Billionaire Boys Club. We got the Velvet Bread 11. You know what I'm saying?
Velvet Bread 11s. I've been looking at that.
Got the Watch Citizen, got the chain, got the Coach satchel.
Satchel. Sound like
You
you
know
dressed
what I mean?
for a summer day in Chicago.
Right.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? I have no fucking clothes. Just leave it there. I got the reimagined Bradfords, you feel me? Diesel on the pants, you know what I'm saying? Little flare joint. Got the Zara tee with the chain, they got the.
You don't know what.
I don't know what
culture.
culture, but I got the Asian lettering. I apologize if I offended anybody.
We probably got to figure out before we got to.
You don't know what.
I don't know.
That should say vote Cuomo.
Somebody help me. You know what I mean? Got the chain stacked on, you feel me? Chain on. And that's it.
W. So let us get right into everything. So yeah, like who are you? What do you do? Really briefly before we ask you all the questions about your life.
Sure, yeah. I'm Joshua Doss. As you said, I'm a pollster, political consultant. So we work on qualitative and quantitative research. It just basically our research helps people who are already in office fix their messaging, or pass bills, or even run for office. Communicate with people and things like that. So
that seems needed. As hell.
Hell yeah.
Needed as
Especially
hell.
in this
So
day
In the age of anti-intellectualism.
Yeah.
on some shit.
So
Niggas didn't even know
before-
that existed.
so before we get into how you got here, we're gonna ask you about everything. But let's start at the very beginning. So what we've decided to do is we decided to hire our own private investigator.
okay.
He runs a department called the FBA. You guys are sitting next to him. So I'm interested. What is his life looking like?
Life is pretty lavish, you know what I'm saying?
Audit of you.
Audit of doom. We had to dig down into the little files and stuff. FBA, you know what I'm saying? we gotta take it back in the day. Man.
Yeah, so what
We
did
gotta
you
take it
find?
back.
What you find?
We like the fit that you got on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we have to ask you about this fit right here.
Oh, God.
Okay. Ooh. Wild. All right, so obviously.
So this is like,
Wait, how old is this?
I need to know how
low key, and I want to guess it too. Is this between 2013, 2014?
Close. Close. Yeah. No, I think maybe a little before.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I was like a junior in high school.
So that must. So
Yeah.
what around what year?
Actually, you know what? That might have been 2013 or 20.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Why you
I-
say that?
I
Vibe?
actually no the vibe.
Yeah,
that's why I said
That's some real Chicago shit.
Yeah.
We was I don't got no words for this one. We was just being goofy.
I was gonna say the
throwing
ethos,
L's
like what
up.
comes to mind when you see
The
this
reason why I
picture.
said like 2013, 2014 is because of the hands, bro.
Yeah.
The hands, like
If
everybody
you
back
was
then was
around-
chased.
You was
Just
throwing
like
the
this.
L's, and Chief Keef had an effect on Chicagoans that really kind of got outside the gang shit for real.
Yeah.
Because I
it
wasn't a
was
hood nigga.
different.
Like I'm from out west, so like I'm from the hood, but I wasn't like a hood nigga like that.
Yeah.
Chief Keef had us throwing up all day.
Oh,
I was like, I didn't even know what I was doing.
If you
Just
think
saying
about it.
300. Don't even.
Right. Ain't never been to O Block. Yeah.
Same shit. I think the thing is, especially with someone like Chief Keef, is that like people don't give the cultural impact enough credit because we was like from the burb. We was South, so we was still Cook County, which is Chicago area, but we was in the South suburbs.
For sure.
And everybody is throwing up and
Everybody.
saying random shit.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go to Chicago Heights and tell somebody that they not.
Yeah.
Especially,
Even though they probably
you know that
weren't.
area though.
You know.
That area though. I don't know if you know that area, but it's like you'll have $1 million house in Flossmoor, and then 10 minutes down the road we'll have
Some
Dalton,
bullshit.
Riverdale, Harvey. So
Yeah.
it's like that area in itself is just all mixed. It's
Yeah.
like you're gonna get both.
And he had that impact like well out.
Hell yeah.
It was he was so hot in Chicago for so long, and then I feel like just right when I think it was Don't Like. I think it was when Kanye hopped on Don't Like.
Oh my
Did
goodness.
he? I don't even.
There was
Yeah.
You
You didn't hear that version?
I don't think
And
I
that's
did.
when he just exploded.
He said it was some bullshit.
I don't fuck with
You ain't like it?
Hell
You ain't fuck
no.
with
But that put him on the national. That
True,
put him on the
yeah.
national.
Yeah.
The Ye co-sign at that
Man,
time.
get that off the screen, man.
Yeah. What's the next element? Like, let me not indict.
Next element, right? So being in Chicago, a lot of niggas like to hoop, right? And I seen that you were hooping before.
I was about to say, he walked
So
in the room
we-
with a little height on you.
Yeah, a little height on you. You feel me? So being in Chicago, D Rose is definitely like the biggest.
Yes.
Damn, like bro, the
Role
biggest
model,
role model.
basketball.
MJ don't
role
stay
model,
here.
Everybody.
MJ don't stay here. It's written.
You're not wrong.
As written. So I want to show y'all a clip of the man Josh Doss being like D Rose a little bit back.
Going
back
crazy.
in the
I don't think
day.
I've seen the highlight
Hold on.
You
reel.
haven't seen the highlight reel?
Wait a minute, because I was going to
Brother.
ask.
Yo.
Oh, this is a Chicago Public League All-Star game. Yeah.
Our CN100 player of the game here tonight. 13
Oh,
points,
shit.
6 of 9.
Look at this man.
Hey! Oh, damn. You throwing up that
Look,
dunk?
look,
I ain't
look.
seen this in a minute.
Hey!
Yeah, hello, bounce.
Yeah, little bounce
Look what he does to these niggas though, bro.
Oh,
To the drill beat.
because you know they
Look.
say that anyone can
Give me
dunk
that.
and
Look,
warm
we
up.
down court with it. Fast break.
Hey!
God damn.
Look.
Hold on. Tween. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Hold on.
Head tap.
On his head. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's little.
damn.
Crazy.
I didn't know he was nice like that. Wait a minute.
Wow. I might need to go hoop out there.
You seen the step back. You might need to. I might need to learn something. All I could do is barely shoot a three. So how did we get at what? Okay, take us through the childhood being in Chicago. That basketball influence. Like, how did that begin? Have you been doing that since you were a little kid?
Yeah, so my pops played Division I basketball. I played D1 basketball. My older brother did. So we was like a basketball family.
Where'd you play D1
University of South Dakota. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta ask you about South Dakota.
Yeah. I don't know if folks remember, like, I think it was a couple of years ago when Oral Roberts was beating all those teams in the tournament. Do y'all remember that? Yeah, they went on this run. But that was our conference anyway. But you know what it really was? Because I was a baseball kid for real.
Really? Oh shit! What position?
I played first and third base. Yeah.
Yo, corners.
No,
I
you
was
played
short,
shortstop, second. I was outfield. Like
Oh, so
outfield.
okay, yeah, we gotta have those conversations too. But I played baseball. I liked baseball more, and my pops was like, I can't. He didn't play baseball. He was like, I can't. As you go into high school, you're trying to get scholarships. Like, I can't help you there. But I know so much about basketball. Like, you should really steer into it. So I would, I took it up and dropped everything else, and yeah.
Damn. So starting high school, you took it up.
I mean, I was really into it before, but basically when he made me choose.
Okay, yeah, it was like,
You know what's crazy? He made it seem like it was a choice. He was like, yeah,
Nah, it
which
ain't
one
no
you thinking you
goddamn
like more? I was like, baseball. He was like, okay, that's not the right answer. I just went with basketball.
If you could go back and you choose, you think that you'd
choose baseball or basketball?
You know what? Basketball was the right move because I was little, but I ended up growing right at the end of high school. So in that video, I was about 6'3". The year before, I was like 5'9". And then the year before that, I was like 5'6". So, yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Your shit's still coming. Your shit's still coming. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Damn.
So it ended up being the right move.
We're done.
No,
for it.
that's
we're done for it.
absolutely done
Jesus
for it.
Christ, we're not growing at all. It's over with.
I would say because actually, I don't want to get ahead. Never mind.
Oh, what were you
Nah,
gonna-
I was gonna bring up that, but never mind.
Oh no, yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah,
I
we're
was
not
gonna
there, we're not
ask
there
you.
yet.
Okay, so we start with basketball, the West Side first, because we haven't even talked about your experiences West Side Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, how does, and we'll get into a broader conversation because you brought up YN earlier. How was your experience like West Side Chicago? I'll ask that for a very specific reason. We'll get into less.
Yeah, so I'm from Austin. Austin is it's rough. You know what I mean? It was one of those, because I went to white schools outside of Austin, right? And so I was frequently seeing what other people on the north side of Chicago was living like. You know, Chappelle has a joke about this for real. Like when you're getting outside of your neighborhood, you come back and you're like, damn, shit really fucked up around here.
Yeah.
But like for the first couple of years, like I was just like, oh, this is kind of how it is. It's a lot of, a lot of drug money, a lot of gang shit happening. I'm just thinking that's how it is until I really started going out, in school outside of there. And the contrast made me realize like, yo, when I grow up, if I don't end up hooping professionally or something, I want to do something to kind of affect this because it was a little rowdy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you immediately kind of see that, like, and especially the more as you learn on like the political journey, you get to realize how much shit doesn't have to be the way that
Right.
it is.
In your same city.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I feel
A
like
couple
that.
blocks away.
And I feel like that gets super jarring. I remember when I was in high school, I never really paid attention super heavy to my local politics, but I went to a school in like a kind of rural area. Like the white people in my school area were like Trump supporters, heavy.
It was Trump territory.
And the black people in our area were like absolutely not, and also like poor like black people. So it was kind of like a weird clash that you
Yeah.
had at every time. Like we were trying to have Black Lives Matter protests and there were like Trump supporters threatening. So it was like a really weird thing. And I remember like just realizing more and learning more about that system. I understood how much like backlog shit there was. Like there was supposed to be a new sports facility built like from before I started high school.
Damn.
They didn't start building that shit
Can't
until
do
2 years after I graduated.
Yeah.
I'd seen a
Bro,
picture the other
why
day. They
is it-
said the new bleachers going up. Are you ready?
It's
I
always
said,
like that when you leave a high school. They magically
Yeah, that's when they get money.
Then they find all the funding they couldn't
Yeah.
find before.
Yeah.
start as hell, bro.
I got a question about it. Do you think that growing up in Austin, the baseball and the basketball kind of kept you out of the gang life?
Basketball for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it was one of those things where like, because we was in the hood, but we wasn't really hood niggas like that for real. Like, I was in the house. The kids around the neighborhood that I grew up in, they didn't really respect niggas that couldn't hoop for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
my
so
God.
I was nice. So that's how I really connected with niggas around my block.
Yeah.
Because outside of that, like I wasn't on no trouble shit.
y'all don't have common ground.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have,
We
I
really
remember
from the
growing
same
up,
place.
bro. I remember growing up, and the reason why I asked that question was I was trying to get to like something like that, like those power dynamics that you have growing up in a heavily like influenced basketball city, like because of Jordan, because of the Bulls, because of, you know what I'm saying, everybody hoop. But also hooping is not just, especially for like young niggas out here, hooping is not just hooping, it's status.
Yeah,
like
literally.
Currency,
I remember
social currency.
Oh,
I remember
goodness.
my shit. I hooped all throughout when I was younger, but we never had no money for camps.
Right.
We never had no money for none of that shit. My parents was always working, so I never got the actual like development I needed. And it showed because nigga, I'm hooping against these niggas that's all nice, and I'm not as nice as them, and that affects your status growing up. Like,
Facts.
and obviously even just your mental of being like, nah, I gotta deal with these niggas talking shit every single day. Like, oh, this nigga,
Oh my God.
this
Wait,
nigga.
so who winning if we roll out the one-on-ones between y'all
What?
three? Who?
What basketball?
Yeah.
Wait, oh,
Yeah, no, that shit. The interesting
tell
part
you-
about that.
Oh, you mean that?
The interesting about that Livin.
Let me tell you about this nigga right here. So
I don't know what. No, I gotta tell. We gotta tell the story. Tell the story.
me and Josh, we grew up playing baseball, right? So we not really into that bat. You was talking about social currency, nigga. I was broke. Nigga, whenever people was playing basketball, I sat out. I'm like, yeah, y'all got that shit.
I was gonna say,
from half
I
court
was
or
gonna
whatever.
say, the problem is right before we, not a tangent really, but the problem was we was broke that social capital wise. Except for the only saving grace was baseball at our school was kind of taken seriously because we had a lot of upper class white kids there, and then the black kids who were in baseball and could afford the showcases,
travel balls,
all the shit. They were like, I don't want to violate because
violate.
They was a little uppity. You know, you get that feeling because you're stratified around like white wealthy
When you in the bird,
people.
bro, yeah, it become like hood rich. So like you get like the black people that move from Chicago and then they automatically just think they better than everybody.
So,
they got all the money.
So unless you were better than the white people at baseball, they didn't fuck with you, and neither did the black kids who were good at baseball. So you really had to like be on your shit. And that was only for those people who cared about it. Most people cared about basketball anyway. So broke social capital wise. But when I went to high school, I was shooting a couple threes.
You was using the shit? Yeah, okay.
And I had gotten to
look, we had just moved out here. We all was out by our crib.
Random
Friday night. There's a court right by our crib. So we like, we're gonna get some shots up, you know what I'm saying? Bullshit, whatever. Obviously, I'm like, me and Alan gonna win because me and Alan hooped all when we was young. We like, whatever, it's not tripping. We're not even playing for to win for real.
Right.
So
nigga was playing for his life.
These niggas was fried as hell too.
The context is him and Alan, because we had been like obviously life shit, doing kind of shit, chasing like dream stuff. We was like, all right, we not playing basketball for real. Then these niggas got like inspiration. They was like, all right, hoop dreams. Let me get back into like where I'm supposed to be. So we go to this court and we're playing. I'm like, if we do anything with dribble moves, I'm getting fucked up. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm not doing this. So I'm like, let's play horse. Let's do like 3-point contest or something, whatever. We like, cool. I go up to Allen first. I play Allen.
Bust that nigga ass.
Okay.
Bust that nigga horse. What was it, to like H or something? I'm like, all right, a little lucky. I'm like, cool. Matt like, all right, come over here. Let's get it busted.
Come get this horse, nigga.
H that nigga. Bust him horse.
H?
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't know. JJ was making shots that I'm like, this nigga like prime.
Like, this nigga was like winning behind the back.
Way behind the 3-point line.
I'm not gonna lie though, H is crazy still.
H is
crazy, bro.
It was a moment of weakness. It was a moment of weakness. I was so weak that this nigga bust Allen, me, ABEE. All these niggas went. I stayed out on that fucking court until I made shots. I'm not your bullshitting.
ABEE,
I didn't even have a fucking letter on this nigga, bro. It was crazy.
It was a generational
Yo,
run.
you might just be coming into your own now. Like y'all might have to run it back.
I was nowhere.
When my school, talking about like the school system growing up in black areas, my school system did not give a fuck about gym. So if we had like a unit we were supposed to do and they didn't feel like doing it, they throw in the basketballs on the court and everyone's free shooting. So I every day was getting that basketball.
Bro,
and it paid off.
Literally, I was playing 2-ball in school all day, every day. 2-ball all day, every day, and then
still lost.
No, listen, left high school. Look, I left high school, gang. I left high school. I started working hard jobs. Niggas started smoking and shit. Like it just the spiraling shit. You know what I mean? I gotta lock in. I got hoop dreams still there, nigga. I gotta lock in.
So I think
I'm getting my get back at some point. You bullshit.
But that was a time. I think the funny thing about that, because we were talking about hoop dreams, is that, and it kind of gets into what we let off with, the conversation around YN. And, you know, we're niggas from Chicago. So we get all of the bullshit. I'm pretty sure niggas walk around assuming we are like a paper bag or something. Like, it gets annoying. So I wanted to kind of talk about how you deviate from that. Because one of the things that we wanted to do when we started this podcast, we kind of just like acknowledge that I think we are 4 black men that are doing something very different in like a field.
For sure.
And we definitely like are not fulfilling the stereotype or many of the stereotypes of black men. So in your like transition into being like a pollster in your professional career and everything.
Influencer.
Yeah, an influencer, everything. How did you deal with that? Because we talked about that social capital that it has. So sometimes it's very hard to break with that and kind of like find what you care about.
For sure, yeah. I mean, early on it was tough, man, because like you are told that to exist in certain spaces, you gotta be a little different. You gotta talk a little differently. Like I had old white people telling me to cut my hair, shit like that. Yeah, really early on, I worked at a consulting firm, a political consulting firm in New York, and it was on Park Avenue. It was old white money, and they were like, "Yo, if we're gonna get you in front of these clients, these can't you got to look a certain way, shit like that." Yeah.
In the 2010s?
Yeah, bro. For real. Wow. Well,
it didn't go no.
Cory Booker had that hair act, which is funny because his ass balls. He's bald. But that shit didn't pass until like 2019, 18 or something like that. Right? That's a relatively newer bill.
Which is insane.
What did that tackle?
It was I don't remember the intricacies, but it was something about bringing it to the federal level that you can't discriminate in a workplace based off of somebody's hairstyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously pointed at black men and black women.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I had all of that, U2 Chicago, stuff like that. But the one thing though, I think going to white schools on the north side of Chicago, niggas we could code switch real good.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. How you?
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
But you know what though, and this is I'll keep this quick. One thing I have appreciated about working at His Strategies, the firm I'm at now, which is a black-owned political consulting firm, is that we're just really authentically ourselves, and the industry is starting to realize that if you're going to extract opinions from black and brown communities, you need black and brown people doing research, asking questions the way that niggas talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to tell you their answer, like some random white guy being cold with them. You're not going to get a real opinion. That's a form of response bias, so I appreciate the firm I'm at now.
Yeah, you get that. You could build that. You get to build that genuine connection when you're genuine.
Yeah.
And you also kind of get more of an idea on how to ask a question and what you should be asking about if you have that cultural background. That's the thing I want to stress, where I never let these niggas get off that argument where it's like diversity is bad, DEI is bad. You physically can't understand the people you're meant to govern and represent if you don't have people from that demographic. It's the most self-explanatory shit of all time. So I definitely appreciate that. I want to ask you, because I put this in there for kind of have you direct the conversation how you want. What came first, the passion for pollster or the passion for being an influencer? And whichever one, we gonna talk about it.
I don't got no passion to be an influencer.
Really?
No, that shit just happened.
Damn.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait.
In other terms, he liked that for real.
It's really just like I had 100,000 followers on TikTok before I ever talked about politics online. I was just on there talking shit. I was making jokes and talking about like Christianity and just. I didn't even want people to know that I worked in politics because that world is a little bit like judgmental. I was living in DC. I worked at the White House. Like I worked in a consulting firm in DC, and and I didn't want them to see me online in my do-rag and shit.
Yeah.
So I had a pseudonym and was not talking politics.
Damn.
But then eventually, like, it just started kind of coming out. And then people was like, wait, hold up. Hold on, what you just say? So I just rolled with it. But definitely the politics was first, for sure.
Damn.
Damn.
I was going to say.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's actually crazy how you like.
Kind of like you, though. In terms of like, I'm thinking like, in terms of where we're from, for politics to be first is kind of crazy. Just because I remember growing up, like, that niggas wasn't on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas wasn't. I remember we used to dress up in like the suits every Friday or whatever. Like JJ would be the president, I'm the vice president, but like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm just like, nigga, I'm in a suit.
Yeah, I think the only way, at least for me, I think the only way it could have gotten to this point is if that passion for like politics was there first. Like in the same way, I feel like I did have a passion for being an influencer. But I didn't know how I wanted that to look. Like I remember, I kind of started the same way on YouTube. I was just making all types of bullshit videos. I'm pretty sure we all started that way. Just random gaming videos, random one-off videos, reaction shit. But like none of them was like, hey, I want to do this for a sustained amount of time. And I don't know when I think it was after Trump won. I was like, okay, I gotta learn some shit. And then for like, I learned it, and it coming out, like you get that feedback of people like liking it. Do you think that has increased? Like, I assume you at least kind of like being an influencer. Do you think that feedback that you got has increased like your want to do it, or is it just kind of like it's just still your passion?
At this point, I think it's more like I understand that this is where the fight is.
Yeah.
Like it's online, right? Like this is where people are paying attention. Like, you know, I do TV a lot. Like, ain't nobody watching them clips. Like, nobody, you know what I'm saying? They see the clips.
Yeah.
But like, I'll be on, you know, CNN or something. Nobody's really seeing it.
Yeah.
You know, but then the people I'm talking to that aren't voting, they saw something that was on the Shade Room or some goofy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, I'm in the right place then. You know, at one point I was like blowing up online and kind of trying to run away from that and get back on TV, radio, and all that stuff. Then one time I looked up, I'm like, what am I doing? This is where everybody at.
Yeah.
And I'm running away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
push. Well, you've been on the Shade Room, right?
A couple times.
Yeah, I think you a few times on the Shade Room. Yeah.
I hope I never end up back on that.
Wait,
Have y'all been on the Shade Room?
Not yet.
Don't know yet.
I beefed with the founder.
He beefed with the founder. Yeah.
This what? Yo, let's talk about this though. Bro, he be beefing with
everybody.
Yo, his funniest beef is with that Bruford ass nigga, that square ass.
Jeff Mead?
Oh my god, bro. That nigga's so corny. They stressed. They like, this the last time I'm gonna eat to this nigga. And he go crazy the next time. A month later, I'm not doing this shit no more. This the last.
I've had to be on like a tolerance break because people like him boil my blood to a different extent.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have a difference in opinion. It's another thing to be like so bad at lying that like 40 niggas call you out for lying and you continue the same. It's so annoying. But he do get fried. That was one beef I had. The founder of the Shade Room was mad at me a while ago because remember when Joe Biden did it was the Maui fires.
Yeah.
And then like all the big headline was, oh, they only did $700. And then the comments was, but billions to Ukraine, but trillions to Ukraine. So I was like, as you do, you know, Shade Room comments. So I find like how they reported it. I'm like, you reported about the first thing that they did.
Yeah,
they
took the first line and just everything
the
out.
first like $700 payment in the immediate to make sure people
And they didn't have the
dying.
article up.
Yeah, then they didn't post all the article. They clipped a bunch of Joe Biden statements out of context, and then they didn't mention like all the other relief shit that they were doing. And this was right when Trump was like running for president.
Shade
So
Room is
everyone's
a
like,
double
we gotta
agent.
have Trump back.
Yeah.
No, for real. I feel like they're getting money from the right.
They
have
are.
to
No,
be.
they definitely are. Bro, they posted on his birthday. They was like,
and then they tried to take that shit down
Donald
real
Trump.
quick.
I'm like,
and he was like,
fuck
nah.
y'all niggas is double agent. They try to make it seem like this is this unbiased news, but it's not about being fucking biased. It's about the framing of you're a black-centered like platform. You put out all of this media and you say all of these things for black people, by black people, and then you're pushing the same harmful rhetoric of the right.
Come on, bro.
And still like that to your fan base of 28 million fucking followers.
You know what I seen that made me lose faith? It was around that same time that it happened, and then the Shade Room posted this thing. It was like, doesn't this dude and Trump kind of look like Elvis? And I was like, we're fucked.
Yeah. Y'all bullshit.
What are we doing?
Yeah, no.
And now we're here.
The thing about it is, bro, y'all.
So you said you had the passion for influencing first before politics. So when did y'all always sit and talk politics the way with y'all do now?
Literally, we would be sitting down for like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours just
talking,
babbling about whether it's politics or life.
So because we each grew up like around each other, we was in the PlayStation parties and everything. So we was just yapping at first, you know, as kids and everything. And then like as I learned more about politics and everything and took it more serious, I was like, well, I gotta rant to somebody.
Yeah.
So I like eventually started like
JJ would be like, me and this nigga would be playing. You ever play GTA?
Yeah.
We'd be playing GTA 5 and we'd be doing the Doomsday heist. And this nigga is yapping the whole time. And like, we got so good at the Doomsday that me and this nigga would just do it together and just be like running through that bit. So I'm just like sitting there listening. Yeah, that nigga Trump fucked up. I don't know shit about Trump. But like, that's how we learn.
There's a video on my YouTube channel. It's like a video of me playing American Truck Simulator. It's a game you can get on
I see it.
on Steam. and it's me, him, and a family friend, and it was supposed to be episode 1 of our podcast, and in that episode we're talking about like Trump, we're talking about like the shit going on. I'm like,
That's
it's
crazy.
just always
Years ago.
been years ago.
I didn't
It's
even
like,
know that.
It's like 2021,
We've been
2022.
talking podcasts since we was like kids.
Yeah.
Like since we was in PlayStation parties, like, bro, we need a podcast because we be talking about politics, we be talking about all types of shit. And
That's clutch though, because I feel like a lot of, especially you saying earlier, like as black men, like I feel like if you the political nigga in the group, sometimes you could have niggas that just be like, yeah, man, that shit crazy.
Yeah.
And they don't really want to talk about nothing, you know what I'm saying? But y'all really be, that
bro,
shit
I done
fire.
met so many people, bro, because I'm also a streamer. So I done met so many other streamers where I'm like, they come in my stream, hey Matt, yo, what's up? Nah, this nigga Trump, and they, this nigga Bush. Like this nigga talking about some political shit. I'm not trying to get it, and I get it. Like I understand, but at the same time, like it was just different. Like when this nigga was talking, I'm like, at first I'm like, yeah, that shit don't matter, but then I start realizing I'm looking around our communities. I'm listening to all the shit he telling me. I'm listening to my mom and them talking about Candace Owens and shit. I'm like, oh nah. I'm like, nah, we gotta reel it back, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Kind of like you found out, it's like there actually is that community of people who genuinely see the importance of it, and that's why it's like super important not to shoehorn niggas into a box, even if you are a nigga. That's one of the worst things I hate, is that so many people get dissuaded from caring about political shit because being nonchalant and a dumbass is cool nowadays.
That was me. Literally. Literally. On Jesus. Gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it real. When I first started doing like content creation, I was into gaming. Like I'm still into gaming. I was just posting gaming videos all the time. And then when he started getting into politics heavy, I started like, I was looking at him like, I don't really fuck with what he's talking about, because at the time I ain't believe what the real is. And then after I started listening to him and research and doing extra shit, I was like, oh, okay, now I was on bullshit. Like, that was straight bullshit. I think one of the biggest reasons why I ended up carrying through the passion is just because I learned so much. You learn so much in the political shit, and I feel like I just kind of like really fuck with it. So when I got to the point where this nigga can now do like deep dives into people, more than
I would have never, like y'all saying that you at one point recently here, y'all didn't care. I would have never known the way y'all be talking about it. It's like,
I saw a video the other day, or I think it was yesterday about Zohran. I was like, Jesus,
that's fire, bro.
I think it's so important because because we're gonna talk a little bit more about you as a pollster and meeting people where they're at. If I can stress anything to especially young men and young black men, is that like, y'all ain't gonna have every right political opinion out the gate,
right?
And neither did I. It's literally
neither did I. Yeah,
it's a game of time, and hoping that you can have those like influences around you, that can like help make that positive change. But speaking of like getting involved politically and everything, how was your journey on like becoming a pollster? Like when did you realize, like for real, that like, okay, I want to take this
like what are the
seriously?
steps you need to take to even become a pollster?
I got lucky a lot. For real, if I'm being honest.
What does that mean?
We were playing Duke on national television. I was at the free throw line. And J.B. Pritzker's father-in-law, J.B. wasn't the governor yet, but his father-in-law was watching the game, and he was a big fan of our school. We had a good season.
Yeah.
And he learned a little bit about me, I think, just from what the newscasters were saying. Joshua Dawes, political science, he's a senior, he's Chicago. He's like, oh, my son-in-law about to be the governor. And he just put out the bat signal. He was like, yo, somebody find me this kid. And then
what the fuck? Whoa, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And at the free throw line.
I was just at the free throw line. Bro, you never know who's like watching what you're doing.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and so then he connected me with JB. They put me on his campaign right away. And I was, I had like a lower level job. I really like worked. I worked up. Some folks got fired, and I took some opportunities. I was on my shit. And then actually JB connected me with Kamala when she was running for...
What the fuck?
Yeah. So,
pause.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Water.
It really... and if I can stress something, it really do be... Yeah. The thing that has put a lot of black people behind the 8 ball, if I could go out on a limb, is that fact that we have a significant lack of knowing somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah. Networking. It really be who you know.
That's a severe lack, and that's sometimes it's out of your hands. And a lot of these white boys It is also exactly that.
Yeah.
They got seen by some. I was researching how Charlie Kirk got his career started.
Yeah.
And some random millionaire happened to be at this like college speech that he gave, and they were like, "You need something," and then he started an organization with him like that.
something.
And that organization is Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
We're here 30 mils later.
I think it's just two sides of every story with that. Like, obviously, I had to be on my shit, right? I had to be nice.
More
I had
than
to be
anybody.
good.
It was,
yeah.
But I think a lot of people get the fruits from that, and they only talk about how hard they worked, how on point they were. I was on point. Every opportunity I got with then Senator Harris, I impressed her every time, right? We were just traveling around the country. This was when she was in the primaries. And, you know, I was just traveling around with her, going to Iowa, going to this and that. Every now and then she would, there'd be a speech.
How old were you?
I was 23, 24.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cool.
But like every time I spoke, I said something of substance, you know what I mean? And so, but like, I'm not going to act like I didn't get lucky with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
it can be both.
It can be both.
And it
things.
is both.
We literally
Usually.
talk about that shit all the time with this. And obviously at some point, like throughout our careers of just influencing, but also just like where we are now, of course we got lucky. Like it can be both of those things. It can be hard work, but also acknowledging that like, no, you had some shit go your way.
For sure.
I think the one of the most toxic things in American like politics discourse is the choice between it's either a meritocracy or you got a handout. Like, you do understand that I talk about, like you said, with this all the time. I talk about how the fact that like I wouldn't be able to have, to those of you who don't know, I have never actually like worked a for real, like behind the desk, like normal person job, because at the time where I started making TikToks, I blew up at like 16 and we were stable enough, especially after the pandemic, that I could just worry about making videos on my phone in my room. And I didn't have to go get a job to cover medical bills or some shit. So through that being set up for me, it allowed me to take like a creative path that most people don't even have opened up to them. And yes, in that, I did my best. I do research. I try to do this shit. But that still doesn't mean that like everything would have been different had we didn't make no money during the pandemic. Or my mom wasn't a nurse for 20 years. They wasn't paying anything to get a nurse somewhere. Like, it's little shit like that. That doesn't have to take away from anything that you did. Because
it's acknowledging.
I'm about to ask you how Kamala was. That's insane number of opportunity to get. And you had to have been on point like during that. That doesn't mean that like
shit couldn't go your way.
Right.
Exactly.
How was she? I'm actually like curious. Like, what the fuck?
She's great. I mean, she's very kind. She is not like a diva or anything. I've worked with a lot of politicians who you just hate being around them.
Yeah.
You know, she's like it's funny that they ended up calling her Mama because she's like a mom.
Oh, that's so cool.
She's legit like a mom.
It fits her a lot.
Yeah. And I didn't even stay on her campaign. Like I ended up leaving and taking another job, and she's still been very, like, in any interaction again, she's still been very kind to me, and I didn't even stick around.
It's dope as
That's
shit.
so
You know,
cool.
so yeah, I mean, that was a big jump start to my career. I owe her quite a bit, and the staff there as well.
Damn.
But that's how when I left her campaign, that's when I got into public opinion and polling research, because I was realizing when we would print out her speeches and stuff, a lot of the language, I'm like, where are they getting this from? You know, how's this written? And it was poll tested language. You know, it was messages that were resonating with people at a statistical level. I was like, that shit kind of fire. I want to
That's
do
crazy.
that.
I did that, how deep that shit like goes. And
Yeah.
I think that's one thing about politics in general that I think like a little bit backtracking to like the conversation of like getting young men involved or getting people involved in general. It's like one thing that involved me so much was shit like that. Where it's like that psychology of like every like politics, but also how there's so many nuances to everything. And if you start to if you just start to look at the shit, politics is one of those cases where it kind of opens up so many other things for you to even like find out about yourself, find out about fucking emotional intelligence, find out about fucking shit like that, like randomly just like you telling me they like somebody sit down and is like, okay, this is the best way to write this and say this so that this could be portrayed a certain way.
It's with everything.
That's how deep it is.
Yeah, it's one thing with politics that I like too. Like, you can't be surface level. You have to dig deeper into different topics to find out. Like,
and I wanna ask you from things that you've seen, especially being someone who's like black, focus on black centric polling. I want to ask two things. One, how were you doing and holding up during 2024, given everything? And two, where do you see like at least one place that you think like black people are at right now, given all the shit that's happening in the country, rising fascism, authoritarianism? Where do you see like through the polling data some of the things that you see that black people are really like focused on right now?
Yeah. Well, for the first question, I lost my battle against the stimulus check.
Yeah.
It's just
That
me
stimulus
versus
shit, bro.
Man.
niggas, bro. Trump gave y'all
like
two
75 cents?
Yeah, 75 cents, and niggas didn't wild out. Ain't never forgot that, bro. You need 75 cents, bro. I got you, bro.
Like, no, for real.
bro.
No, actually, I probably can find it.
Bro,
in,
like,
my
I
car or
got
something.
you,
Like,
so-
come on.
No, yeah. During the election, our firm we were worn thin, and at that point, I run the Black and Economic Narrative Research department of my firm. So we had our hands in a lot of different places. It was stressful for sure.
Oh, I know.
What was it like hours like?
Nigga, this shit was all day, bro. Like, for real.
Just
It was
calls
just,
and
yeah, because you're putting surveys in the field and they're coming out early in the morning. You're getting data. Then you're dealing with news organizations that are reporting on your data incorrectly.
So now you gotta.
There's a clip of Wes Moore on Face the Nation responding to my research that said 25%. Or that black men under the age of, I think it was 30, that Trump was going to get like 27, 28% of them. But that portion of my data had a very big margin of error.
oh, okay.
The poll itself had a 3% margin of error. So that means plus or minus 3 points. But when you look at a demographic that small, the margin of error could be 14, 15 points. So for you to say he going to get this big number, like, it's just wrong.
Yeah.
But they don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
They got Wes Moore. They gonna put some shit in front of him.
Yeah.
And he like, whose poll said that? I'm like, well, it's mine, but they're not reporting it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of that.
With that, I want to get right into something we talked about. There was a lot of conversation about black men and obviously like their turnout and all types of shit. And that 28% number, I remember we seen that Trump got like, was it a slight increase this time in black men?
It was an increase, yeah.
Yeah, it was an increase as well. What like interpretation would you want someone like a Wes Moore to take from that data?
So Trump didn't really increase. He increased his percentage. He didn't really increase his raw vote number. What happened was the niggas that like Trump voted for him in the last election. The same amount really voted for him in this election. It's just that everybody else didn't vote.
Yeah.
You feel me? So his percent went up, but it was the turnout was low.
Yeah.
Them niggas just go hard for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like they showed up both times. So that's really what happened. But like there is a bigger thing that's going on here, which like I do think that Black Americans are at a point where they don't feel, especially like younger Black folks, like we don't feel a solidarity to either one of these parties, right?
Yeah.
And what we say a hit is like black folks are a mobilization and a persuasion target. Like you have to persuade us now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was just like, oh, you just pull up to the churches, they'll go vote for Democrats. Like, nah, it's not moving like that.
like that
Like you
at all.
said, you streaming, you was doing your thing, like you wouldn't even think about no shit like that.
Yeah, and the shit that was fed to me was the right wing shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's
That'd be
very
the-
easy. I feel like the left's been behind for so many years when it comes to that. Now I'm seeing like the fitness creators who are left wing. I'm seeing people in the gaming space who are like left wing because finally we have those influences. For the longest time, all of those mediums, when they contact you, is immediately going to lead you to some like right wing
Like
shit.
literally, you play games, you go look at other creators on YouTube, play the game that you like to play and shit.
Yeah.
And the recommendations, all you see is Charlie Kirk, fucking, what is his name? Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
You see that nigga?
Wait, so did y'all like go at it? Because if you was kind of getting that side of it, and you was going there, would y'all like go at a
I
little bit?
wasn't really like the confrontational nigga. Like, I hear it, I'll be like, yeah, okay.
I
Especially
kind
with
of
this
Facts,
nigga.
facts. Yeah, you don't want to go.
I say this, when we was growing up, even if you didn't know everything, I'm not about to start.
See, my thing was me and him never went back and forth with it because we actually pretty much, I'm pretty sure, went on the same path. Because before, there was a J. William J. when I was like 12, 11. That was down like the Ben Shapiro rabbit hole, kind of. Because what ended
Pull that video up while y'all got me with my pants on my ass. Where the FBA on that? God damn. I want to hear him. The taxes is too damn high. I want to see him saying shit like that.
It's because I was smart. I didn't record. You know what happened was when I first got into political content, I was watching two types of content when I was a little kid. I was watching like feminist-owned compilations with Ben Shapiro, and then I was watching like racist people getting owned.
Like it's crazy.
So like
playing Minecraft.
it was a wicked
of
time.
the video was he would be in a college, and they would ask
Same
him
shit
a
he's
question,
doing
and he would
10
just,
years
like,
later.
ramble. Like he would just ramble.
So and
then
that
you
was
do-
around like Gamergate 2016, Trump's coming into power and everything. So like I remember paying attention to that. And they're incompatible. I was watching like a white person will be unnecessarily racist to a black person. I'll be like, fuck them. And then I turn around and go watch like Ben Shapiro. So that's because I didn't know what I was doing yet. And then like through a group of like other YouTubers with time just slowly pulled me like out. I'm checking where people are getting shit from. I'm like, oh, these people are lying. And now we're doing that.
Literally.
and that everything. And I'm grateful and lucky that it happened to me at that age because there's a lot of men, especially like younger generation as well, who get to this point and they still haven't been like pulled out of that shit.
A car show the other day. When I tell you it's just little kids running around talking about what the fuck is that nigga's name?
Aiden Ross?
No.
They love his little ass.
Yeah, they do.
They love that nigga. Oh my God.
The nigga that always like, what's your Bugatti? You like, what?
Oh, Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
He was like, I wonder if Andrew Tate's Bugatti's gonna be here running.
How
I'm like,
old?
These niggas was like 9, 10.
No. All right.
Yeah,
You want to know what it is? It's like cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know how they hook every young generation by putting a polar bear on that bitch? They put a camel on that bitch. Another generation of kids gone. Like,
I mean, the left has done objectively speaking, has done a bad job talking to men, you know, and so sometimes all you got to do is really just try to talk to men.
That's all you got to do is start the conversation.
They
didn't even want to have that conversation.
Let's talk about it in another topic that I wanted to get into. So I recently, and it's set up, but we're gonna get into that topic of talking to young men. I recently saw a video of yours. You had an interview with Don Lemon, actually, which is big as hell.
Shout out Don Lemon.
Shout out.
I got my squabbles with him at times, but I do fuck with Don Lemon. You talked about how we've had this refocus on trying to win men back, and the conversation initially was that black men conversation. I remember there was so much like accountability that was like, all right, black men, we got to be on our shit. But you had made the point that if you're looking at the data and the demographics that are shifting and leaving like the Democratic Party, it's really on the white working class that continues to like vote. Like the uneducated white population obviously breaks a lot for Republicans, and connecting with people on those issues seems to be the thing that's swaying these elections a lot more than any impact that black people and black men have, because black people majority understand the assignment. So the conversation has then become, okay, how do we get white men back and everything? And I want to ask you about that, the onus being placed on because there's two strategies that I've seen pop up. It's either we mute ourselves, like I remember a campaign strategy that I seen Kamala do was that she never really mentioned too much about her being the first black woman president, because we know that like some people get queasy when you talk about that. So it's either,
even though they're thinking it.
so it's either you mute yourself or you lean into it and hope those like economic policies and all type of shit hit the right people. And I think we kind of saw that with Zohran yesterday. Zohran overperformed in areas like Staten Island in New York that are more white, middle, like upper, like working class, all types of stuff. And Cuomo won it, but he ain't blow him out like he was supposed to, because you have that agenda that's like something at least to look forward to. So what do you think, what does your gut say, at least between those? I don't want to put you in a false dichotomy or anything, but like,
You know, if you ask in a national sample of voters in America, would you rather, and this is particularly true among men, would you rather have a candidate that is focused on growing the pie or dividing the pie fairly? 70% of men say they would rather have a candidate that's focused on growing the pie. If you ask them, do you think Democrats are more focused on growing the pie or dividing it fairly? 67% of them say Democrats are more focused on dividing it fairly. Why do I bring that up? A lot of these things that we missing, black, white, men, you talked about the working class, all this stuff, are actually just universal goals.
Yeah.
Niggas want to make money.
Yeah.
Niggas want to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Take
Niggas
care of
wanna
their kids.
And we miss the bigger picture that like black men don't want handouts. White men don't want handouts. Everybody wants to feel like the government is just giving them tools and they can be autonomous builders on their own. But when we talk to black men, we talk to them about poverty reduction and not wealth creation. So we're just missing them. We don't have to pick black, white, whatever. That's something that works with all men.
Yes.
You know, and so like you said, Zohran did a really good job of that, right? And that's why like it gets tough sometimes working with these organizations that mean well. And they're like, well, we're going to talk about how this policy is going to pull all these black kids out of poverty. Yo, I don't know no poor black niggas. I know they don't got it right now. You know, but they're not poor. Right. You're not talking to them. We do focus on
And who wants to feel like that as well? Like,
Yes.
hey, poor black kid, I'm gonna help you.
The
Like,
framing is inherently negative, and it's not that you have to focus and be like, well, you know, it's how you approach it. Because I can go to niggas and be like, all right, cool. You feel like the government does not represent you or they don't give a fuck. Why is that? Oh, because I'm sitting around here, I'm seeing these same shit around me not changing, nothing outside getting rebuilt, these schools are da-da-da. All right, cool. Let's see how we can make those things better. You don't have to say a lick about I'm making these school better for niggas.
No.
Because you doing that in and of itself is going to benefit the white people too.
Yeah.
So when you only talk about not the opportunity that niggas can have or people can have, you only talk about the fact that you don't have it now, and let's see how you immediately create that tone of like, let's give you a government handout, even if you don't mean that.
And you low key have a helping hand in that other side, which is the framing of being like them be calling motherfuckers victims and shit. That whole bootstrap shit. Y'all be like reinforcing that shit the same way. If every single time we talk about black people, we got to show the poverty, we got to show the fucking flip flops, like Cuomo shit.
Yeah,
we gotta show the goddamn like
Cuomo's
like
campaign.
goddamn, bro. Like
Ridiculous.
niggas just want to do what everybody else want to do.
When the child tax credit first got introduced in the House, our firm got hired to do the messaging on it. And we ran a survey where we tested the language. Same bill, just talking about it different ways. One way was the way that Nancy Pelosi wanted to talk about it, which was it was going to be Social Security for kids. It was going to pull all these kids out of poverty. You probably heard that messaging. It pulled 50% of kids out of poverty. All that. We ran that. The favorabilities on it were something around 60, 63%. We took the same bill and we proposed it as something that was going to allow you to get back to work. You need a child tax credit? All right, it's $2-3 so you could get back to work. In that framing, you make shit happen for your family. The government just removing some barriers for you that shouldn't have been there in the first place for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you make shit happen for your family.
That's
70, 80% favorability on that framing. Did Pelosi go with it? No. But that's how you talk to me.
We were literally, what were we talking about yesterday with that? Where we were, me and you were walking and we were talking about situations like that where it's like, you don't have to like damn, what the fuck were we talking about? It was that same point where it was like,
you don't have to like overstate what you're
you don't gotta like
over explain.
I think we can and the left broadly can do a little bit of the inverse where you go the other way and you could just lie about it. Not like
that's what we're talking about.
In the sense that like, okay, from a base perspective, if you're operating with the framework that like the government should, like you said, be removing those barriers and making it so that like you can live more of your life. That's what freedom don't matter if you don't have the we're talking about rent. Freedom don't matter if you don't have the ability to express that freedom. So if you do a thing where you're like, okay, we're gonna have this housing policy and we're gonna implement it in this way, we're gonna help all these people out, make the city affordable, kind of like what Zohran talked about. You can do it in a way where you say, this is going to impact black people, this is going to impact Hispanic people, this is going to address XYZ disparity. Cool. but you make it so that we're understanding that like housing is a thing that you need. Housing is a thing that you're going to spend a portion of your income for. Let me reduce the portion of your income that you're spending on that so you can spend that on other shit. And that's alone,
how you get through the
because that's how you empower people with also doing the role what a government is supposed to do. And I feel like that can go so much further away because you rip all that government handout
you said the key word there, which is role.
Yeah.
Democrats don't understand the role
Yes.
that the folks that they're losing want government to be.
Yes.
They don't want government to be paternalistic. They want government to set, you make the even playing field.
Yeah, regulate.
And then I'm gonna go work.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
nobody wants government all in their shit except for the niggas who tell you that they want some all government.
We was
ironically.
talking about this.
Ironically.
We was like, if that nigga Jeff Bezos, because he's been in the news a lot. Jeff Bezos is doing like a wedding.
They said that the protesters won. He switched venues.
Yup.
Oh, did he?
Yup.
So
They put a big ass thing on the ground.
like
It was a
multi-million
$500 million
wedding.
boat. They was about to be on the wedding. $500 million venue. I think the wedding itself was like $25 million or some shit like that. Yeah, it's just
Crazy.
just bullshit.
Just GDPs
So I
of
told-
countries.
I told this nigga JJ, I was like, gang, we were literally talking about the rant yesterday, and I was like, if that nigga made minimum wage for Amazon employees and started that bitch at 33 and did 33 or 30 and did a step plan the same way he does now, right? He would see no dent to his fucking income. This nigga's a like crazy billionaire. He'd see no debt to his income. And I'm like, and then what do you think? You think, because I used to work at Amazon. I used to be HR at Amazon before all of this shit. Do you think that these people that's already working 50, 60 hours a week, you think they gonna look me dead in my face and be like, I don't want to work no more?
Right.
I remember we used to do, they got like mandatory extra time. We used to do mandatory extra time. It used to be 90, 95 degrees in the trailers, all types of shit.
Boy.
And every day, you got your people that's like, nah, I'm going to fuck home. I'm using my time. And then you got your people, hey, man, what we got going on? I'm like, yeah, we got mandatory today. Merch, I'm about to pick up 2 more shifts.
Facts.
Yeah, because these niggas want money.
Because bills still gonna come.
Bills still gonna come. So either way, even though they making holiday pay, they getting overtime, they getting all these things.
Getting VTO.
Yeah, they getting VTO. They're still like, okay, why would I make 60 an hour if I could pick up this shift and make 120? What the fuck are we talking about?
Right.
So it's like it's kind of like I think one of the big reframing points that they need to do is understanding that these policies that you're trying to implement will have the impacts that you say. But like I said, fucking lie about it.
Yeah,
If you gotta
lie
pass
about
the thing that's gonna get us started on reparations and call it the Great American Recovery Big Beautiful Bill 2.0, then do that shit.
Yeah.
You don't got to lead with the it's gonna XYZ because the people who know that it will hit them will see that and acknowledge that it will
Put it
hit
like
them.
this: Trump don't got to tell racist white people that he for them.
You don't got to tell them shit.
They
It's
already know.
It's in the
America
subtext.
great.
You
It's in the subtext.
subtext.
Implied.
You know what I'm saying?
Do the thing.
Yeah.
And craft your policy, come about it in a smart way that is going to have your impacts, and then just lead it with the thing that people want from you.
And when niggas start media
on,
circuiting, do the exact same thing back to them, lie about.
Yeah.
Bro, that what's shorty her name's like Carol.
Carolina,
Yeah, leave it.
Carolina.
The press
Get left
secretary.
at the fucking
She be
crib.
up there bullshitting. Bullshitting. Be in this bitch. Just, hell yeah, sky purple is there. What the fuck? Just bullshit. That's how we gotta do the shit too.
You know what? That's one of the reasons why niggas low key fuck with Trump.
Yes.
Is because like black people have lived an experience in this country where they told you that there's rules, but then you look up and you like, yo, the rules not really fair for real. And so then we respect some niggas that just kind of start breaking them.
Doing
shit.
it, yeah.
Right, like
doing their
that
own
was
shit.
Kanye's whole appeal at first.
Yeah.
That was 50's whole appeal when
Yeah,
he first came
yeah.
in. He's like, I'm dissing everybody. He can't.
Yeah.
I'm dissing everybody. These rules don't
Look at
exist.
this nigga.
And
He
yeah,
do everybody.
right.
Smoke.
And Trump,
Smoke.
bro, Trump sent buddy ass overseas. Supreme Court said bring him back. He said nah. He said, and we was like, can he do that? Can he do that?
What do you
He's like,
mean,
nah,
no?
I'm good.
Right.
Now, granted, but he ended up coming back. But Trump was like, nah.
Then they put charges on the nigga when he
Yeah.
came back. Like,
You can't think about it.
doing that?
Think about it. Now you're operating from a legislative point where you don't have to be an evil motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
You have like the things, the good stuff that people want
Right.
on your side. You can just be cutthroat in how you frame it and break what you gotta break. There's a lot of things that you don't even have to like legally break, but if the Democrats or like whatever left-wing apparatus is just aggressive on how they message a certain thing, sends a message. Can flip out everybody. I was talking to Matt the other day about how like, let's talk about like reparations for half a second. Say, where the country, the climate that we're in, you know, it'd be fighting a war to get that shit. But
Civil War.
let's say that as a vein to try to get something along those lines, you announced that you wanted to announce sweeping like investigations into police departments and like kind of go over like try to analyze like racial discrimination, just put the findings out to people. Do you know how many people, at least on the right, are gonna lose their shit? It's government tyranny, they investigating, they violating states' rights. And then what's gonna happen? You're gonna wake up the next morning, you in the White House, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So continue. That's the rationale that they've had this entire time, but with violating the Constitution.
Right.
And we all
Multiple
supposed to sit
times.
here
Yeah.
and be like,
Right.
With everything.
yeah.
Ain't, after
So,
this
yeah.
administration, everything the fuck goes.
Yeah.
January 6th
Yeah.
didn't happen. After this administration, everything the fuck goes. Like, what
I'm not
we
trying
talking
to.
about?
They don't have
play
they-
by
yeah.
the rules, put
Hell
the red
no.
caps on and shit.
They don't
No.
have like the moral.
And they be too afraid to gaslight niggas.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I just saw it this morning.
God damn.
I was watching. I be watching Fox News and shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it was Nikki Haley or somebody. They were like, somebody was like, we don't have any cuts to Medicaid in the big beautiful bill.
What are they talking
I
about?
was like, oh, y'all think I'm a dumbass?
yeah.
800
Like,
bills.
bro, it's 800 B's. What you mean?
800
But she
billion
was like, no, we don't.
Just bullshit.
Who gonna stop her?
Who gonna
Nobody.
who
Who
gonna
gonna stop her
tell
from
her
just
no?
Nobody.
Nobody
Yeah.
on that.
Right.
And here's the thing.
Even if somebody across from her says, "Oh no, that's the real thing is this or that's false or etc." Half of them niggas stop listening after she said it ain't no cuts in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The book closed.
Look,
So it's like, my nigga,
You can scroll to the page and find it if you want to, but no one's gonna
And
teach
you're not
you.
gonna read that shit because your ass can't read.
Exactly.
So they just gonna roll with that shit, bro. Like, let's call it what it is.
niggas not gonna read regardless.
The shit is in there. At
It's
that
already
point,
done the damage
so
to
then
Muriel and Kevin sitting at the crib, bro.
Right.
Get you,
Facts.
get you a Brad Lander who's a policy wonk on housing policy. Construct the policy, be like, hey, we gonna make this shit affordable, and then let the right read through the paragraph
Right.
on exactly the fiscal. They not doing that.
They
They
not doing
gonna
that.
call you a communist.
Yeah.
So just like,
Them niggas can't read.
yeah,
Let's call it what
it's
it
a
is.
damn
you
shame.
know,
Like,
that's
oh
just
my
where
lord.
it is.
Yeah, and then they'll come at
Real spill.
They'll come at
Can't
like
fucking
Department
read.
of Education, and the ones in the red states are the ones who don't got the funding to be able.
Yeah, defund Department of Education, and you go there, you ain't got no fucking desk, nigga. Weak ass box. You just
So
sitting there.
I do kind of want to it not really rattle this topic because it's been a topic about a bunch of stuff. But speaking of the future, like politically, Zohran did pull off a historic upset yesterday, and we did briefly mention him. So
go,
I do
man.
want to ask you, what do you see? At least briefly following along with it, what do you think is the future, at least for? Because I feel like there's been a lot of analysis saying that this is, given how big of a city New York is one of like the financial capital of the world, pretty much Wall Street's there. Them choosing someone like a Zohran as their nominee sends a lot of shockwaves. So what do you see upcoming? What do you think is the future, like messaging wise, for the party?
Yeah. I don't think that the political establishment on the left will see his messages and be like, oh, that shit works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think people know that New York is different. Much further left than the rest of the country on most issues. And I think that there will be a little bit of movement towards that type of messages, those type of messages, but that I don't think that's going to be enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
do you? Sorry. Continue.
So do you think this is like a one and done type situation?
No, I think
Will you see like more democratic socialists appear?
I think we're slowly moving in that direction.
Yeah.
But by the time we're at another general,
Yeah, it won't be. Yeah, I don't expect the Viva la Revolution to happen
Right, yeah.
by 2028.
I mean, well, I was gonna say, what do you think? Like, what do you think like the biggest effect will be? But I was also gonna say, like, look at look at the times we're in. Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Anything
know.
can happen.
Yeah,
You
you
never
never know.
fucking in the next
Before you
4
answer
years.
this question, if I can caveat too, I think the significance of Zohran's election isn't necessarily that we know for certain that this formula will like work in a red or a purple district, because obviously we know how New York is. But I do think it's kind of like the same significance of like a seat like this was won in like in LA. It's like you have a big area that has a lot of the Democratic base, and trying to gauge where a lot of your voters are. It's not good that a Cuomo, a legacy name in New York, can't hold down that fort. So I think we're at a moment. I do think that it might not mean that like a million Zohrans are in that bitch tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I do think it's a shift.
You think it's a turning point?
Or how much of
Andrew
it?
Cuomo is not popular.
Yeah.
And this is not trying to take away from Zohran's win.
Yeah.
He
wasn't especially.
he's unpopular.
Yeah.
And I do think that if there was an establishment Democrat that was a little bit more popular,
And it wasn't.
I think it would have been a little bit more of a, I mean, he had literally come through some really egregious scandals that he tried to walk back.
Yeah.
I also do think that like the moment coming out of what's going on in Palestine was very good for him. But you know what? I think it was a bigger win for ranked choice voting than anything.
Yes, it was.
That's what it was a big win.
I think that is something I'm so happy you said it, and we need to put focus on it, because I seen even as Zohran was closing and the news was getting more positive, you've seen, I think it was The Atlantic or other like news like publications that are really popular in New York were like, oh, this ranked choice voting system is undemocratic.
Oh my God, of course.
They allied with each other. Ranked choice voting, the reason why we still don't have that shit nationally is because shit like that can happen. Where you now coalition build. You give people enough choices, candidates-wise, that represent all types of different viewpoints, and they form coalitions to try to have an effective government, and then you get to rank who you like least or best to least, and that avoids the lesser of two evils situation that we always get forced into because you're accounting for different perspectives. Ranked choice voting is something that makes, at least in my opinion, makes way more sense than our current voting system, and we're not even talking about doing it nationally because that, I think that shakes up a lot of shit. I do think that it was a big win for that voting system.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I try not to beef with leftists too much because there's just not enough of them.
Yeah.
Like they're so small in numbers, but this do be my beef with leftists a little bit because the one thing that you hear leftists complain about the two-party system, and they you know, we need more options, and leftists are also in favor of ranked choice voting. All of those things I agree with, but the one thing that those systems like ranked choice voting and a multi-party system require is actually the thing that leftists are the worst at, which is coalition building.
Coalition building.
They hate connecting themselves with people who do not feel 100% of their views on life, and you have to be able to coalition build to do ranked choice voting correctly, to have a multi-party system, because you won't have a plurality. No one's getting a 50. We're gonna have 6, 7 different party. You got to look at another party and be like, yo, I don't agree with you on everything, but we got enough in common. Let's get together.
We match on a few things.
That's another positive thing I will put in the Zohran Mamdani camp, is that choice being with Bradlander, having
was
a
hard, bro.
Phenomenal.
Muslim and Jewish kind of like ticket.
That was great. I hope they work together in
Yes, I hope that
administration.
they both play big parts in the administration and everything. And I think that right there is very important, because there are a lot of people like who are like online left, especially because I don't think that a lot of that shit is super real when you get down to it. Especially I know like in Chicago has a very heavy like black and political like organizing culture when it comes to how things are ran here. It's machine politics, and you got a coalition build across all types of shit. But a lot of people who will be terminally online are very like opposed. Like when you hear some shit that disagrees with you or that makes you feel weird, you know
immediately,
it's very easy to be like, nah, fuck no.
Yeah.
But the fact that two people like that can disagree on some issues, especially one like Israel-Palestine, and still be like, yo, we got to put this and work for the movement.
I hope leftists are taking notes.
I hope,
Yeah.
You know what kind of,
that organization is very key.
Speaks on it's kind of the LA shit we were literally just talking about.
Yes.
With black and brown communities.
Trying to
And
needlessly divide.
Yeah, we have so many people that like we were talking about in our like comment sections about like the black and brown unity when it comes to like the shit that's happening in LA with the ICE raids, but not even just in LA, obviously everywhere. That's like part of, in a way, I was telling JJ and them this the other day. I'm like, in a way, that's a part of being an adult, is learning how to like understand that, like, okay, we maybe don't meet eye to eye on every single thing.
Yeah.
But like if we have common ground in this area and this is the area that needs help, then we should be able to.
That's a part of being a man.
Yeah,
too.
like,
You know what I'm saying?
In
Like,
real life is.
there's an element to like, you know, there's a positive aspirational masculinity that says like, yo, everything is not going to be perfect in any of these situations, but I'm a man. You feel me?
Literally.
I'm gonna get my shit done no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if I gotta, you know, reach across the X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Like,
Even
we
a
got
minute,
a bigger goal.
And I
here.
feel
Even
like
a minute talk about like leadership. Like leadership is not just a one head thing as well.
You
Like
can't be stubborn and try to be the
exactly.
leader.
And
Like,
I think,
you
and
can't
I
do
think,
that.
and I think one of the things that has kind of been poisoned by American culture and our political discourse is the fact that like reaching across the aisle does not mean that you have to compromise on everything that you believe every time.
Exactly.
Right.
And I feel like that's what's been misconstrued because we see that a lot of times when the Democrats and the Republicans will compromise on something, it's
It'll
just
be
that
the Democrats
it means that
bending over.
it means the Republicans are losing their fucking mind if they don't get everything they want right now, and the
Yeah.
Democrats are like, all right, cool, and then we
Yeah.
compromise on something that is not really like you give up more,
Yeah.
and through that we keep getting further and further, but it doesn't have to be that way. It also doesn't mean that you don't have to work with anybody.
Right.
But you just have to make sure that you know a concrete way to do it and you know that you can find that common ground without compromising on the shit that you genuinely care about.
Yeah.
So I think that coalition building is something that I really hope to see happen a lot more. Because we were talking about I remember thinking about that conversation. There was my homie Berto, he's head of ITP Chicago. It's a
Shout out
peace,
ITP.
Yeah, Increase the Peace Chicago, and they do like a lot of black and brown unity stuff. And I remember one of the first times I talked to him, one of the first things he ended up saying was like, yeah, I don't think that Hispanic people should be using the N-word at all. Like, we got to hold ourselves accountable for that. We like XYZ, because he's being straight up because he wants to create that bridge.
Right. Right.
So, like we were talking about with the LA stuff, the nuances and how our cultures have intertwined with us and Hispanic people or Latin people are so multifaceted and so diverse and so broad that like being like, I'm not gonna support you while you're being subject to fascism
It's
until
insane,
we
bro.
fix this thing.
Nuts.
That's untainable. You can't have that if everybody start dying.
Yeah.
So like that is part of that like leadership, that being a man and also just being an adult, being like, all right, cool. Yeah, if there's certain thing, I'm not about to compromise with a KKK nigga.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So
However, when you can make that compromise in a way that's safe, productive, and strategic, please by all means do that, because it's the only way you get shit done.
Yeah.
How did y'all feel when you found out that the percentage of Latinos that voted for Trump was probably higher than, like, did that shit make you? Well, actually, let me take a step back. Did y'all have like Hispanic homies growing up?
Well,
Yeah.
one, Alan is Hispanic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alan
okay.
Hackman,
Alan is
yeah,
Hispanic.
that
Okay.
Mexican.
So yeah, I was dating a girl that she was Mexican, and her whole, well, like not her whole family, but I think like half
Members
her
of her
family,
family.
was like voted for him. And I'm just sitting here hearing all the shit like, what the fuck? I grew up, well, I would say where we grew up as well, like it was hella Mexicans and
Yeah,
like
it's
Hispanic
always
people
been,
like
like-
around like Chicago Heights, but also around like I would be up northwest, like Fullerton area where my
Yeah.
granny was, and there's hella Hispanic people over there too.
So you're shorty voted for him?
So
Nah,
Oh, you still know?
Hell no, she wasn't that bad. But her, like, I think it was like her.
there were people.
her like family member did, and mind you, her family member, I ain't even, because that's not my show no more. So I ain't even gonna get into it. But her family member did. And her family member was like renting a house from someone who was illegal and
Undocumented.
undocumented. And I was like, that might not be in your
That's
best
like
interest.
that's
to vote
the
for
most
nigga that's trying to
glaring
get rid
voting
of-
against. Like,
Cause you have a house and then
the
you
thing
fuck.
that
Like,
the
yeah.
thing that tripped me out about it is because as a nigga, I was young, right? And a lot of times you get in that conversation like, you young, you don't know what you're talking about. When I started paying attention to politics in like 2015, the first thing I saw was this nigga in this tie come down this escalator, and he said verbatim that Mexicans are being in crime, they're rapists, they're criminals, and some are good people. And that's how we started.
Yeah.
And y'all 10 years later.
I will vote.
You see, they took her nigga.
Yeah.
Yo, she was on the news, bro. She was on the news, balling, talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
I can't believe.
I was sitting back like,
You can't believe you was on the stage getting jiggy.
They was trying to go triple platinum with that.
Did Bad Bunny endorse him too?
He did,
Because then
but he
retracted.
was real quiet
Yeah.
up until the Puerto Rican comment, and then that's when he endorsed Kamala.
Yeah.
But he was real quiet. I was like,
There was another Hispanic artist.
There was a lot of them,
voted
and
for him,
then
but
Bad Bunny said he
retracted.
wasn't going to tour in America.
Did y'all see the other day?
Bad Bunny endorsed him and said he wasn't going to tour in
Did y'all see
America.
the other day the Mexican, that dude Mexican OT?
Yeah, I saw that.
He was like, or T.O. or whatever his name is, he was like,
Not fucking with it.
him saying like the N-word on the podcast. What y'all feel about that? How y'all feel
Hot
about
take.
that? Hot take, okay.
Hot take. Maybe this will be my hot take for the show. I feel like the fun that we get from saying the N-word, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know if it's worth the energy it takes to police it. Like when I see little niggas really like going to blows, maybe getting arrested or getting introduced to the criminal justice system because you have to fuck this white boy up because he said the N-word. Like, I'm like, yo, it don't really be worth all that for real. You know what I'm saying? And so like,
I feel that way too.
I don't want black people feeling like they gotta fuck somebody up because now everything you've worked for is vulnerable because some white boy decided to be racist, man. Like I want young black men to be able to just be like, all right. And then we ain't fucking with dude.
If I can offer like a slightly different perspective, I think so for Mexican OT. Let's start from the point of understanding. I understand that a lot of people, a lot of people grow up with niggas. A lot of people grow up with niggas.
In Texas, I'm pretty sure like a lot of Hispanic.
There are a lot of you can even hear like the cultural difference when like a white boy will grow up with niggas. Like you can hear right?
White boy in Florida.
I don't think personally I'm in a capacity where I'd fully crash and hit a nigga and go to jail if they said it to me. However,
if you get punched in your shit,
whatever the policing, I'm not gonna punch you in your shit.
Matt might.
Results may vary depending on that. Okay. I might not punch you in your shit, but I personally don't want that around me.
No, facts.
Because I feel like Mexican people have been through their shit too. Black people have been through their shit too. And I feel like it's common courtesy to kind of understand when you're like, but you're not that.
Right.
Like I think that's a general principle that everybody should hold for any interaction. That's not just black white interaction. That's not just black Hispanic. I think generally if you're a visitor within a culture, you've grown up around that, you've seen that, you should still be able to understand the humanity side of it. People that were pointing out like the first thing that he mentioned, Mexican OT mentioned, was him doing bad shit with these people.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, that's how he sees black people.
Yeah, I was gonna say the immediate.
So
that's
it's
how you
like,
see black people is criminal, is thug. That's what you.
And it's like I don't want nobody. I don't want black people or like young black kids to go to jail at all over that shit. If you asking me, really try to go about your day and keep yourself away from those people.
Don't be crashing out over no shit
Don't
like
crash
that,
out.
bro.
But I also will not fully police niggas' behavior.
No,
I think it just depends on this is what I think it depends on the situation. As in,
like
one, understand who you are. Like none of us should be putting our hands on nobody at this point, nigga. We got promise.
we got
promise.
Right.
Shit you gotta do. But I be telling them niggas all the time too. I'm like, especially because like I feel like every time we go out, it's like every time we go out, these niggas like my little brothers, like JJ Allen, ABEE, he like older brother, so you know what I'm saying. I be safe around ABEE. I know he'll swing on the nigga, but I be having to go out and I be thinking like, okay, if something kick off, if anything happened, like that weird nigga yesterday,
Yeah.
if
What
anything
happened?
bro, it was a weird nigga.
like
He
walking
like
down the south, he
nigga
was
had a
shooting
bag
the bag.
and he was like. Shoo, and I'm like, nigga, you hit me with it. I'm like, it's gonna be up. But I think it just depends on your situation. It's hard. I done had a whole bunch of homies, like Mexican homies or Hispanic homies that be saying. I always say Mexican just because I've only really had a lot of Mexican homies. But I had a lot of homies, they be spamming it. And I think spamming it is one thing. Cause like you said more than me. Come on, gang. Like I understand you might.
Bro, they fought harder to say the N-word than they did for their citizenship.
I'm like, they be.
God damn, you should have fought that hard to vote against the nigga that was trying to get your mama gone.
Y'all should have
Like-
90% organization.
Bro,
rate you talking about.
niggas-
full dissertations. No, I can say it because X, Y, and Z. You about to get deported, my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We trying to help you. I can't help you because
I done had a nigga bring up strawberry farms and all types of shit
I
trying
think-
to let
I
me
think-
know how he's supposed to be able to say it.
I think the one thing that I do want to encourage for black people though is maybe you don't check them in a way that you beat them up or some shit.
Yeah.
But letting it be known that you're uncomfortable with it or that you don't fuck with it is something that you need to do because I think that a lot
That
of people,
shows you who they
a
are,
lot of
too,
people
though.
don't understand the weight of it. I remember I had
Yeah.
my homie.
That's
he,
true.
He was drunk, but he called me and he had said it. He was like, "Oh, what's up?" And I'm like, "You can't say that." And he was like, "Oh, of course I can say it." I'm like, "Now you're art."
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
that's
right,
where-
Right.
Yeah.
That shows you what side of the coin they on.
And he felt bad after, and he was like, "Oh no, my bad." But like that's what happened.
The
You really
second
be thinking
you get into that conversation, in yo, I ain't gonna lie, you can't say that. Why you say that shit so much? You could,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, come off like that. And they, nah, you know, nigga, we all been,
Yeah.
nah, you get it. Yeah, nah, I gotta cut that shit off. Cause that shows me you don't understand it. But I done had also homies where I say that shit, they like, oh shit, my bad, you know, it's just,
Right.
where I'm from. I'm like,
I'm gonna check you. I'm just not gonna put pause on you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
putting
yeah,
pause.
right,
I
I'm
don't.
not-
Yeah, I feel like there's so many other things that need to happen before them pause come out. Like if you,
Yeah.
But before the jam.
Okay,
pause
we
was getting put
talking
on it.
Hispanic though. What about like blonde hair, white boy, walk up to y'all, my nigga.
Nah, I'm not. I'm still not hitting no. Boy, his pop's probably a lawyer. I'm really not hitting him. I'm really not hitting him.
Look,
Nah.
That phone of doom
was
will
just-
come out.
look.
There's a lot of caveats. You punch a nigga in the face. Like,
Right. You
One,
get the crime.
no.
Gang.
One instance of this one shorty. Shout out you if you watching. This one shorty, the first white girl I ever even tried to do anything with. She was cool. It was just different points of life. I'm like, yeah, what your pops do? She like, yeah, Homeland Security, nigga. Nigga, on a random Sunday, run Homeland. I was like, you have it, nigga.
The jam wild.
yeah.
Fuck that.
I mean, I went to college in South Dakota, so
You the
I got the spectrum of white people out there, and they was.
what is the? I'm about to say we talking about putting the pause on like somebody for saying. What is the craziest like racial dynamic you've experienced? Like I want to say specifically when you was in college, because South Dakota
College
sounds like
is wicked,
a
yeah.
trip.
Yeah, bro. I was at a so we played Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
And it was a big game, they're in Big Ten. And we went to a little party afterwards.
Ah, shit.
And like
That's how they get-
I'm out here, so I gotta, I'm not gonna just sit in the room. You know what I'm saying? So we go-
And you on the team?
yeah, I'm
you
on the
gotta,
team, so we go to this
shit.
little party, and I walk in that bitch, and everybody got a Trump mask on. It's like a these
a fever
rubber
dream.
Trump masks. They look like purge masks.
Oh, you walked in to get out?
Yeah, I really
Oh, no.
I was like, nah, son, I gotta get up out of here.
Yeah.
And so then one of the dudes, I'm trying to be cool about it, right? I'm like, oh, okay. I feel like I'm in danger, clearly. But they're like, oh, the mask, you put the mask on, put the mask. They
Put the mask on?
They trying to get me to put the mask on.
Humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
Right,
Fuck
no, some real shit. And I was like, nah, I'm not fucking with Trump. And then right when I said that, everybody got quiet. They were just like,
Shit.
oh, whoa, why not? Like, this is that. I'm like, how are y'all confused as to why
Right.
not? I'm confused why
Look
you're
at me,
confused.
nigga, like
Why not?
I just sat outside.
I don't see color. Nigga,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
what you mean, why not? Nigga?
Damn.
So I just sat outside, and then this little white girl came out. This white girl came out, and she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm actually like, my boyfriend is black, and like, and I was like, then why you here? Like, what you doing here?
Someone
where
not
he
teaching.
at?
Where's the
Under one of the masks? Yeah, that shit was
oh
crazy.
my gosh, man,
crazy.
that
That
is
is
absolutely
wild.
ridiculous.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man,
I done seen some shit on college campus.
I done seen some shit everywhere around the world. I want to briefly mention this because we are running out of time. But this has been a great conversation. A lot of shit's been happening. You said doing good as we can given the circumstances. The thing that happened like yesterday, I guess maybe depending on your source, is that we attacked Iran.
Yeah.
Like around we did, and then we ceasefired
And
for
then,
You know,
4
it's
hours.
it's
And we
hard to
told them they
know
were
what's
done?
going on in the Trump administration.
this nigga tweeted out
Christ, man.
ceasefire, and they dropped more.
So the fact that he thought that
I-
a ceasefire would be implemented from Truth Social.
And didn't even talk to Iran about
We
it.
had conflicting details for like the first few minutes. An Iranian official said, "Yeah, there was," and then the next few minutes it was like, "Nah, we haven't heard shit." And then
Yeah.
Trump came out like the next hour and was like, "Israel, please stop bombing them. We agreed on."
Yeah.
And so I guess
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Nigga,
Yeah.
you don't know what the fuck you're doing. This nigga
real.
spelled his fucking name wrong.
He said
He was like, President Donald J. Trump. Fuck's sake. Get this nigga gone.
We had so many questions about like mental acuity under Joe Biden. Like, and I'm not like the biggest Joe Biden fanboy at all. We had the nigga tripped. Trump tripped like last week. We didn't talk about it.
Nobody.
Yeah,
And then
nobody
he,
talking about that shit.
all caps tweeted the other day like yesterday, like a racist ass rant. I don't know if
About AOC and Jasmine Crockett.
AOC,
Crazy.
like Jasmine Crockett, low IQ. Ilhan Omar's country doesn't even have a go. Just going.
Mind you, halfway through, wasn't that the same one where the nigga starts mentioning how his doctor said he's
He
like
aced the cognitive
This nigga is
God,
gone.
yeah.
This nigga is gone.
We're in the twilight zone because if I said anything, they go
No,
25th
Trump is
Amendment
different,
my
bro.
ass.
Yeah.
Trump really different. Like when they look back at history, they're like, "Yo, was this one long Simpsons episode?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like
Jesus
Trump
Christ.
Trump was the final and definitive proof that white privilege is a thing.
Yeah,
because we
for
had
real.
Barack Obama, and then after that, these niggas got so mad that they just let a nigga say whatever. Like they had the
Yeah.
decorum shit. Even like white politicians before Trump had to like at least be coherent.
yeah, for
And
sure.
after
Mitt
it's
Romney
just
to Donald fucking Trump.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
at that point, it's just been, and we're not even talking about like how hectic that is, let alone the unconstitutional stuff, the fact, the war, everything.
Yeah.
And have you done much polling, or have you seen much polling about like at least maybe black opinions about going to war?
Not particularly black opinions, but in
Generally.
general, I think it's well over 58% of Americans say that they don't want boots on the ground. Actually, you know what?
Should be high.
I think it's over 68%. Yeah, no, people aren't even in favor. His own base is not a fan of
We
that at
saw
all.
Margie Taylor Greene
Yeah,
losing her mind on that
Yeah,
nigga.
which is
is
funny that
wicked.
like
Well, we're
Twilight
going to
Zone.
start seeing that in the next couple of years.
Yes.
Like the Republican Party knows that they're going to have to exist after Trump.
They're gonna start
and
pivoting.
They're going to start
Yeah.
talking about it's
We've
going to start
seen it.
peeling off.
And I think if I can give like some advice or something, I guess at least where I'm approaching it, don't fall for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
Please,
like no,
even like the rebrand. And
I'm sorry,
shit,
we have-
Ben
we have-
Shapiro,
yeah, we
Nick
have-
Fuentes is
Tucker
rebranding.
had a nice little pivot the other day.
Yeah.
Tucker
like,
had a pivot.
come on,
Keep in
man.
mind, Tucker started as like a kind of liberal voice on
He
CNN
sure did.
when they were doing the Crossfire
did.
show, where they were
Yup.
having like a Democrat or
That,
Republican debate.
that table
Yup.
shit.
Yeah, and then
Yup.
he saw where the bread was going, so then he turned into a Nazi
Yup.
like for a few years.
And
now he's
sitting.
Don't you think it's crazy, Ted Cruz, all of a sudden that you don't know these things? Like you,
know
haven't
what
known
the-
shit my entire time I've been advocating.
You know
for
what
it?
was the saddest part about that whole exchange is that when I was watching it, I was thinking, Tucker Carlson actually he's skilled.
Yeah,
as
he's
a-
skilled.
Yeah.
He just chooses
It's not
to
even
use
just
it.
that he is intelligent, but like he was asking very good follow-up questions.
Yes.
And I was just like, bro, use your powers for good.
Yeah.
Like,
We
why
had
are you?
somebody on our
using
side
his
like that
powers
would be
for money.
wicked.
That's
He's
why
a
I'm saying-
talented journalist.
That's why I'm saying you can't fall for this shit.
Yeah.
Because once a nigga has proved that bread will take him wherever it goes,
Yeah.
All he
the
needs is
moment
some more
that the
fucking
moment
bread.
that the era of Trump rolls around and we
Yeah.
get a couple more Zohrans, maybe a couple more AOCs, whoa, this is woke as shit. He gonna be right back there, and then 20 years
Yeah.
later, he gonna be sucking off JD Vance. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already seen you do the shift one time. I don't want you to come back. Same thing with Candace. Same thing with. You're gonna see, like, I think we are gonna see a lot of that because now they understand how uncomfortable it's gonna get. But we've been saying it's gonna get real uncomfortable for a decade, and y'all been
Facts.
helping it get mad uncomfortable. So I don't want to.
Niggas, they're following a ringleader.
Yeah.
That is in a lot of ways even more like way radical right than them. So they be trying to like save face and backtrack and all these things. But like you said, the second something else happens, Zohran goes.
all we
and
need is a second Trump, bro.
2028. Next thing you know, you'll see these niggas come out again saying the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Candace was sitting up there every fucking day dissing the shit out of Kamala, the administration, Joe,
And-
all these
and
motherfuckers.
also-
And then as soon as this nigga wins the election, I just didn't expect Donald Trump. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, and also let's not act like she's well because the moon landing's fake according to her now.
Yeah.
like we're just
Yeah, she
And her-
made
there's
sure
not
to
many
take it to
avenues
the-
you can go down.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
We ain't
we
done
about
yet,
to we
nigga.
about to get
We-
into.
hold on, before-
we're about
Before we, what are you about to get into?
I
right
was
now?
about to start getting into some rapid fire questions. We're gonna start with like influencer shit, and then we're gonna go into some hot.
Before we do that, I have to know your opinion on the NBA Finals.
Yes,
I did realize that. I was like, we didn't.
Thank
even-
My
we
God.
completely
Thank you.
forgot that. When I
and
was
then
Bro.
we'll go
supposed
to
to
the
bring it up.
hot takes. Yes,
Halliburton.
NBA Finals. Man,
He's nice.
he's not.
And it was really, really unfortunate. But I don't think that they were gonna win, even if he was.
You don't think they would win? He had 9 points in 7 minutes.
He was hot, but
hot.
OKC has been good at home for
they were
once.
at home.
Once I realized Game 7 was gonna be at home, I was like, they're gonna have a little bit of an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this though, their pressure, their on the ball pressure is so good. You need 2 ball handlers, and when Halliburton went down, you saw the length.
Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I seen it
Because
happen.
I got a clip.
It-
Yeah, we
like
saw that
I got to.
clip.
we gotta watch it back again?
Yeah, we gotta watch this shit back.
Man.
It was
I
hard to
zoomed
watch.
in on.
I don't
the
think I
Achilles,
even.
is
bro.
hard to
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
hard
I,
to. You could see it pop.
Yeah, you can see it pop. Yeah,
I don't
It's
think
that
I
calf
watched it
strain.
all the way through.
Playing with that calf strain.
Same thing that got KD.
Yep.
Man.
Look, he kick it out.
Yep. Kick it out to the.
Oh, right there. Oh, he knew immediately.
He knew immediately.
Yeah, you know.
That shit hurt.
You feel that pull. You know.
And mind you, it's 16-16, bro. Start of the fucking game.
Indy first.
Look, right there, bang.
Oh, you get a situation like this, you're just sick to your stomach for the young man.
Shit. What did you?
It's like a snap of a rubber band.
Paul,
Like
have you ever dealt with like a major injury playing basketball?
Yeah, what was
I
it?
had to sit out my whole junior year. I tore my perennius longus in my foot.
Damn.
How did that happen? Like,
It was a non-contact, just like that. I was just coming around the screen. I played point, so I was always, a lot of stop and go and facilitating.
You gotta.
And my shit just popped, bro. I knew.
That's how my shit
it
was.
Oh, you had one too?
I had the other day, I had like a meniscus injury. And my shit, I remember I'm hooping with this nigga Allen. I hear, I was like, what? Fuck my shit.
You know it's bad when nobody hits you or nothing.
I was just like,
damn.
I'm literally just
Why
moving.
You start
I was
standing there like,
what
why
in the
me?
fuck? That whole day was shitty, but yeah, injuries was tough.
did you have OKC or Pacers?
Yeah, who'd you
going
have?
in?
I didn't really have. I off rip, I thought OKC, but then
Same.
the Pacers came out game 1, and I was like,
Yeah.
yo, wait a
After
minute.
I think what game did it might have been game?
I think it was game one
whatever
when-
game. I'm like, oh,
Was
this
it
gonna be a
game one?
series.
Was
I'm
it
like,
game
yeah.
one when Halliburton hit the like game tying shot, or was that the
Whatever
round?
he
No,
did
he hit a game winner in game 1.
Yeah.
They were down by like 5 or 6, like with like a minute left.
came all the way
Came
back.
all the
And then
way
they
back.
came
Overtime.
back, yeah. But they switched up their coverage a lot on that pick and roll, and it was bothering Shea a little bit.
It was.
But once he started picking that shit apart,
Yeah.
because he loves coming off the pick and roll and just dicing. He moves real slow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's looking
survey
at.
it and he just
Once he
goes
started
touch.
picking apart their pick and roll coverage, it was raps.
I told Jaden this. I was watching it. I'm like, he's really struggling against. He was struggling more than I thought. With the pace.
breaking.
Like,
Yeah.
initially,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, he breaking. He's struggling. Once he got it though, he got that rhythm. I'm like, there's nobody in the league, I think, and I've been watching OKC all year. There's nobody in the league that I think can guard Shea. Like actually, I think he picks apart everybody.
I've been
Literally.
saying for the longest time that I think he's the hardest guard in the league.
Yeah, I think so. I think
he's
so.
the hardest. He would be like me. I as a defender. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't know what I would do. With
Yeah,
him.
he's
he's
different.
6.
Yeah.
He's 6'7". Like, bro, some niggas low key. I'm like, I could
taller
clamp his
than you?
ass. Yeah,
He tall.
bro.
He tall as hell.
Whenever I see Jalen Brunson,
big ass.
yes, nigga, handling the ball like that.
Yeah,
That's
and
When
his pace change is crazy.
Pace
the
is
nigga,
crazy.
The nigga will just.
And this is the thing, you
yeah.
can't speed him up.
You can't.
Nope.
You can't. He plays on his own
He
clock.
plays on his,
Yeah.
those plays are dangerous. Like when I see like Jalen Brunson play, I'm like, I could clamp that nigga. It's probably not true, but I feel feel like I can.
Jalen Brunson?
Bro, what'd you say?
You taking him?
Bro, even if it's not true, I feel like I can.
Yeah.
But all I say, I'm like, I'm not doing nothing with him.
Bro, it's that intimidation when you guarding somebody, bro, and you get up on their body and you pushing that sound crazy.
Hey, yo. I was gonna let you slide because I'm in your house,
but when you put the body on somebody, bro, you can kind of feel that intimidation. You can feel if you're kind of if you're outpacing that person. Okay, I'm panicking this nigga. I'm panicking. You can feel that.
Yeah.
Shay, you can't do that to the nigga. You get it. Nigga, you can hit the nigga in his face.
Yeah.
You can put a body on him. He's still going. He's yeah.
One of the reasons why I feel like he's a tough guard is because he's so light.
Yeah.
So when you hit him, like I'm
he's
much
been off
bigger.
it.
Now they call it fouls. Now they call it foul. I could kind of get up in Jalen Brunson and hit him a little bit, and they're not gonna call that. So now he's just gonna feel pressure. But like Sig, they gonna call it. They gonna put his ass at the line. So now I'm second guessing as a defender. I'm like, damn, I can't touch him. You know what I'm saying?
And now you move around.
And he has a way of like, people always say the free throw bait and shit, which I don't think, if you look at the actual stats, the nigga is not like crazily higher than everybody else, right? Especially for an MVP. But I think also the way you say, like the way he moves his body is light. The way that nigga can kind of like, he baiting you every fucking time. He baiting you every fucking time. And at that point also, then he making an and one on that bitch. Like he gonna throw that bitch up and he gonna make that bitch.
He's different.
He's
And that is
different.
why
MVP of
us
hell.
being in Neiman Marcus at that time will haunt me to the end of time.
It's a nigga in my Discord that be on my stream. And I don't know if you know the story, but we gonna tell the story. It's a nigga in my Discord on my stream. And this nigga text me. He like, Matt, bro, it's about that time. Drop the pictures of you and Shay. Go fuck yourself. You right there. Go fuck.
Y'all met him?
We were in Neiman Marcus in downtown Chicago.
Did we meet him?
We were in Neiman Marcus at downtown Chicago. And we've told this story like 4 times because it haunts us. We are in like shopping around or whatever, and me and Matt and ABEE are just there. And we turn around and we see like 3 extremely tall niggas. I'm like, who the fuck? Who are these people? Oh, they're here and they're tall. This might be an athletic team of some sort.
I'm thinking like a rapper or some shit. I'm thinking
yeah.
it was Jalen Williams, the person I was looking at. I'm like, maybe that's a rapper or some shit.
Then we dip out. We like, oh, it's like 4 tall niggas. We walk down the escalator. We're on the escalator. In front of us is Shay and OKC's head coach, and behind us is like Jalen Williams.
All of them.
We're all on the escalator going down.
We didn't even realize it was Shay until the coach, he turned around and looked at us, and he had an OKC badge on his shit.
They all had like hoods on.
Wait a minute.
And Shay, I see Shay
walking
right
just
there
like
with the braids. I said, well, no, Shay didn't have a hood, but I see him with the braids. And I'm like, who are these niggas? I was like, why do I know these niggas?
So then we walk out the store. We walk down Michigan.
Well, now, hold on. It was an excruciating. The Neiman Marcus, if you don't know, I don't know if you know, but if you don't know at home, the Neiman Marcus in Chicago is 5 fucking floors.
So we go down 3 elevators.
We're just going down.
With the NBA champions.
And y'all didn't say nothing for
Then they walked out the building.
I realized it's Shay. So I'm like, okay, do I say something?
Right.
I don't want to feel like
I'm not a groupie, nigga. I was like, I'm not, but I'm like, this.
I don't want to interrupt these days and be like, can I have it? Even though I should have. We walk out the store and we walk for like 3 blocks, and they're behind us.
Whole time.
Walking the streets.
And the whole time we walked.
We just walking, just. He's really
And y'all never got the pill?
Never
We
got
go
the
to
fucking
Mary.
pill.
We go to Mary. We
Niggas walk in while we're
deliberate
in the Mary.
I was like, we deliberating on this nigga jacket. We like, I don't know what you buy. Nigga walk in. Yeah, can I grab this? Let me grab this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it delivered. I'm like,
I'm gonna have this delivered.
we look up his name. I forgot what his name was, but he's on OKC. He's
Starting lineup,
averaging
yeah,
a few good points per game.
Bullshit.
Like,
Damn.
Bullshit.
Y'all
And
you should have got over your pride. Get a picture. That lasts forever.
Never in a million years.
That pride will fuck you up. That pride
drop your
will fuck
ego.
you up. Drop your ego, nigga.
and ask for a
Facts.
picture one
Never
time.
in a million years that I think these niggas was going to win the chip. That was like, I think that was like first or second month of the like season.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Last year.
And that set
October,
off the tone, and now a lot of shit has been going good. So we're like, damn, it makes sense that it happened this year too.
That's
we don't
written.
have a picture. So, before we get you gone, we can't let you get gone that easy. So I got a couple hot takes. The first one, not really a hot take. This is just a question I wanted to throw in. You are an influencer. Regardless of how we like to slice and dice it. So, what is the craziest DM that you've gotten?
Oh my God.
They were saying you could be having like.
They were saying you be having emotions. Hey, ladies, man. So
man.
it don't even gotta be from the lady.
So it don't even gotta be a lady. It can be
What's the
anybody.
craziest DM you think you got?
Yeah, man. The DMs be crazy. I think it's because, and I'll tell you, but I think it's because like we be talking about real shit in politics.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, he's a nerd.
Yeah.
It's that
Because you not shooting your shit at niggas that you feel like that.
Real.
You know what I'm saying?
Real.
I done got some random pictures.
Oi, oi.
Some unsolicited pictures, but I'm like, damn, you coming like that?
Not a hello. What my name?
I just got assaulted. Like this.
There was, bro, I had a situation and
Streamer
I
world.
can't even say it.
They were sending some nut shit in the
That's
streamer
some
world.
nut shit. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's damn near harassment. But like, appreciate
Appreciate the prompts.
Appreciate the prompts.
Oh shit, man.
They be wilding in there.
Yeah, they be
man.
wild.
I would say I told them I don't check my DMs hella nowadays because like I could not for my own mental sanity. But I don't really notice hella hate. I know if I go in my DMs right now, it's some crazy shit. I done had fake DMs made about me though. So written. Yeah, that was the
Written.
Yeah, that was the standard.
the first time I almost got sued.
I got
on
a clip.
TikTok.
He just started going crazy on TikTok. Some white dude that he crushed in a debate made some fake DMs. He
So-
said I was trying to what'd he say?
He said, basically he had lied about like this reparations thing. He's like, all these white people gonna be paying money, and I was like, they created a task force to study how to do it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna be paying shit. He crashed out and got his homie who had like 60K to make fake DMs, and then dropped the news story the next day like J told this influencer to
It
commit
was like
suicide.
4, 5, 6 different
They
creators.
went on an app, fake DMs, and was like, "Yeah, I don't even care about that Garrett guy. He can."
And then who-
and it wasn't.
Who tried to sue you?
Them. They were like, the dude, his name Gary. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take legal action." Da 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 blah blah. Trying to get So then me and him went detective mode, pulled up the DM logs, connected with people in the community, got his ass out of there. His account got banned.
I got a clip on my computer. To this day, we was in a Discord. This nigga JJ was like, "I'm suing the shit." And it just cut off. That nigga was mad.
We had went to the city. We had talked to the lawyers. Like, what can we do about it?
And then he apologized.
Defamation of
damn.
doom.
Yeah,
nigga.
it
What's
got
your crazy
serious, and I
DM?
was 17 at the
My
time.
craziest DM has to be from like this racist nigga, because usually I used to like I still post gaming, but the gaming space is filled with a whole bunch of racist motherfuckers. So they're gonna start following me, right? When I started making that, not necessarily making the transition, because I've been talking about it since like 2020, but when I heavily started talking about politics, you get the shut up in your lane, shut up and dribble, do this and that. So I started talking about politics heavy, and like this one nigga just kept sending me right wing shit every fucking hour of the day, like for a week straight. Whole DM, like 1,500 DMs of him just right wing shit. Just
Obsessed.
Stalker, shit.
So, yeah, that's some
He still
stalker
be
shit, though,
commenting
yeah.
to this day, and we block
Yeah,
him.
block
Oh,
that.
Yeah, I was about to say you ain't blocking.
No, I blocked that. Yeah, he's gone.
I just been deleting the nigga shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see him squirm and bitch ass nigga.
We know you watching.
Slow ass nigga.
Okay. You deleted my comment? For the final stretch, we about to divide the city.
Oh shit.
I need one word answers or short explanations on the following hot takes.
Okay.
LeBron or Jordan?
Oh, LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah.
As a Chicagoan. LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron? Okay.
Okay.
You're
You
cooked.
gotta say Brown.
LeBron.
Nah,
I think I have to say that.
LeBron is definitely, yeah.
At this point, I'll let you
I
slide.
don't like saying
question.
it, but
Cubs socks.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, shit. Well, we know where I stand on that.
Look at the shirt.
The first one was easy. The second one, I gotta go with the Cubs. if I'm
Yes,
being honest.
sir.
Yay!
Bro,
I know the black people in our city not gonna
I
work
know,
with
but
it.
Wrigley is so much fun.
But you have to
I
think
never
about it.
been to Wrigley.
Wrigley.
You never been to Wrigley?
Okay.
Wrigley-
I was
Wrigley-
socks till I die.
Wrigley
Yeah.
is very obviously a lot of white people, but the place is urbanly planned nice, and the owner. You know, there's one owner of the Cubs who's a lesbian, I'm pretty sure, and she be donating like left wing.
Yeah.
W.
Yeah,
You know, I've
The
actually
rest of
never
the rest
even-
of the niggas who own the team are Republican and shit.
I've never even been to
Yeah.
like Wrigley Field. Like I've never even been to Wrigley.
Wrigleyville. Wrigleyville?
got to.
He ain't been to Wrigleyville or Wrigley Field.
Wrigleyville is a whole different. It's just like a city inside of Chicago.
Yeah,
The
I know it's like
train
bars and
connects
shit.
right to like Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Like you can
You
get
get
off
off at the red
very
line,
nice
bro, that
plan.
shit is different.
The problem,
I ain't
the
never
beef that I
been
have
there.
with the White Sox is that it's the one that predominantly black people like, but the owners of that bitch
They
don't
don't
care.
got no culture for real.
They don't give a damn. And they doing their team bogus. So I'm like,
I feel like
Grandma had like the little calendar with the White Sox shit on her fridge.
yeah.
I
Being
grew
on
up
that
a
side.
Sox fan. No, I grew up like my dad was a Sox fan, sister, everybody. My dad was from Cabrini Green, which I guess he should have been a
Cubs
Cubs fan, maybe,
but
but he,
yeah.
you know.
But you
he,
around, your people.
Yeah,
were Cabrini
you know,
Green,
they
so.
all South shit. So,
Our household was split. It was my dad, him, and me were Cubs fans. Everyone else Sox fans.
I just remember they
I mean,
was always
the
dick,
Sox
though.
did win the World Series when I was a shorty. I was there. That was 2006. That shit was fun.
Yeah, well, shit, mine was 5 actually.
Or 2005.
Yeah,
I was
2016.
2016.
I
can remember that shit.
5, nigga, I was like dead still. Like, I was still fucking.
I remember the White
Goddamn,
Sox ring, man. I was one.
2005,
That
I
shit
was
was kind of
like 2
lit,
years
but no,
old.
when the Cubs won, it was different, bro.
Yeah,
They put on for the
everybody
whole
was
city.
outside.
Cubs
Yeah,
won it.
And now
everybody
we
was
in
outside.
first place of Doom.
So I'm just saying, we going back to playoffs.
I'm not even.
Going
I mean, I be watching Cubs all the time. I'm not even like me when it comes to Chicago sports. I'm just a Chicago fan. I like everybody.
Facts.
I still
That's
want the
really
White
what it
Sox
is.
to do
Yeah,
well.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Sox
Yeah.
has been.
I'll
dick.
never root against one of them.
Yeah, I never
Right,
would, especially if they playing anyone else. Unless
they
the
play
Sox
each
play the
other.
Cubs.
You're cooked.
If they play each other, I don't know who I'm going for.
Crosstown Cup. I go every year. First of all, y'all should come.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if you
I
never,
need
especially
to.
if you've never been to Wrigley.
Yeah,
Bro,
Yeah.
I believe.
I haven't been
I'm gonna
Crosstown
take care of
Cup.
y'all. We got tickets to Crosstown.
I haven't been Crosstown Cup. We haven't been Crosstown Cup since the days of Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah.
Bonzo.
Wait in there. Coach Skate Fucadome in there.
I haven't heard that name in forever. That's like in basketball
Mythical
terms.
pool.
In basketball terms, that's like our Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
That
Bonzo
was
Soriano. That's what they used to say. I look like him when I was the only black kid on my baseball team. I was the only black kid that had the low cut. They're like, you look like Bonzo.
Okay. I was gonna pull up a picture, but I don't want
picture of that nigga
Alfonso
real quick.
Hold on.
I was just the only black kid. I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
about to say
saying.
they definitely made it racist, but that's Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was just like, oh, black.
Black.
They was calling me Polo G, man. When I tried to get
Bro, Polo G.
Wait, hold on.
fucking
They might have ate with that.
I
seen it
as I got older. I was like,
Polo G.
Travis
What am I-
Scott.
Yeah, I was gonna say Travis Scott.
Nah, not Travis.
yeah, nah, that's just bullshit.
Any nigga with dread. Chief Keef. King Von. I get King Von.
I
every
got
fucking day, bro.
I got
That's crazy.
3 more. Let's run through it. I'm gonna say this one has 4. I'm gonna see what your taste is like. JJ's. I'm a ranked choice voting. I need 1 to 4.
Ranked choice voting.
JJ's Fish, Sharks, Harold's, or Uncle Remus.
I'm from out west, so I'm supposed to say Uncle Remus, but I'm not. I'm not.
You're not. Ooh.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna go, bro. I'm gonna go JJ's first.
What the fuck?
I know that's a hot take.
I said it. What?
I
The
know
nigga
that's a hot
JJ
take.
hit. I said
I'm gonna
it.
tell you why.
I'm
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Harold's is fire, but every time they like, oh, you didn't go to the right one. You got to go to the one on 79. You got to go to the That's too much.
On the
When-
one on
when you-
79.
And
The one on
Sharks is fire, but they don't got a sauce for real like that.
They
Like,
don't.
They don't.
Their
Yep.
actual chicken is better than JJ's, but the sauce.
The lemon pepper be hitting, but Sharks be pissing me off because sometimes you get the Sharks that don't be putting like hella lemon pepper.
Put that. I need them to douse my
I need
shit in
them to
lemon
douse
pepper.
JJ's
So I'm
gonna
gonna
hit
go.
every time.
I'm gonna go JJ. JJ's is like reliable.
It
You
is.
know it's gonna
Really?
hit
Every
JJ.
time.
I been averse to
can't fuck
JJ's
with
because I be
that.
feeling like it's
Nah.
gonna be bad. I need to
Nigga,
get it. I
okay,
need
so
to get
look,
it.
when I was lore, nigga, when I was a kid, we didn't have that Harold's yet when we was growing up where we was. That Harold's wasn't on Halsted yet. There was no Harold's, it was no Sharks yet. There was a Sharks in Chicago Heights, but it wasn't no one where we was. There was only a JJ's across the street from the Popeyes where that liquor store was. Nigga, we was there every fucking every Friday.
JJ's is like it's like McDonald's. It's like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So you
literally.
never far from a JJ's.
You not, bro. You get that big ass family love.
We'll let the comments deal.
I'm telling you. Okay, wait, what's next though?
I'm gonna go with JJ's.
JJ.
And then I'm a low key go Sharks next.
Oh,
I'm not mad at
And
it,
then
but
I'm gonna-
Harold's is.
I can't drop
Harold's being
Put it like this: the best Harold's is better than all of them. But
True.
but I don't know what I'm gonna get. They could be, oh, you went to the wrong one, so it's like I can't put you. You know what I'm
That's real.
saying?
That's
Whenever,
valid.
whenever,
But at their
mad
best,
at it.
Harold's is killing all of them.
My
Yeah.
best Harold's was at a Amazon food truck on Jesus Christ. Nigga, I was on my lunch break. I've never ate no chicken like that on my
I think Harold's when it's good is clearing, but I
It's
can
clearing.
feel you.
Yeah,
I can feel you.
exactly.
And then
it
Uncle
gotta
Remus,
go Harold's, Shark, JJ, Uncle.
I think I might be there.
Yeah.
I might, but hey, consistency with Harold is a problem.
Yeah.
Really depend on
I'm
your
gonna go with
location.
JJ, nigga. JJ, Harold, Sharks, Remus.
Cool. Okay. Italian beef or hot dog?
I'm gonna go hot dog.
Hot dog.
I'm gonna go hot dog.
Polish or hot dog?
Yeah, the hot dog.
Hot dog. You are the only one on your
Nigga, I don't know. I guess niggas don't fuck with
Italian,
Polish
be
no
banging
more.
it.
Polish
Gotta
is
go.
solid, but a good Chicago hot dog, yeah, that's just
bad.
What
my
you say?
shit, yeah.
What did you say?
Italian. I gotta go.
You gotta go Italian.
Gotta
You
go
was
Italian.
hot dog when
Yeah, I
younger,
was.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if
But
this
I
is
got-
on here.
Last
I don't know
one.
if this is on. Oh, last one.
We got
Go
one
ahead.
more. Best Chicago rapper.
Oh,
Shit.
oh shit.
Shit.
I mean-
Streets watch.
Streets watching. You can get canceled right now.
I mean, look, I don't really consider Kanye to be a rapper for real.
Producer.
Like
Yeah.
he's a I see him as a musician for real.
Yeah, like an artist.
he's
Like
an
an
artist.
overarching
Like when I think about rappers, he's not. I don't have him in there, but he's probably was one of my favorite artists. Let me see.
I'm gonna
best-
say I consider I say rap art. I just don't consider BA because he insane. But
Yeah.
me personally. But I think I
This
feel
is a
it.
tough question, bro. Like
It's hard.
Herbo had a stretch where it was seeming like it was gonna be him.
And then consistency.
And then
Polo G came out hot.
And
Came
then,
out
yeah,
hot
and
just-
then I don't know where the fuck he
did.
went.
I don't
Piano
know,
G, man.
And then we got the OGs. Like if we gonna talk about Common or Twister, I don't know. That's a good question,
that's a
bro.
lot.
It might
Don't say it.
impact
Don't
wise.
say it.
It might be Sosa. No.
Oh, okay.
Impact wise.
Sosa is a good answer.
Impact wise, I might go Sosa.
It might be
Sosa.
TT. It was a cultural event when he
Sosa.
came back to Chicago.
When
finally.
the niggas
Yeah.
got you taking pictures differently, bro.
So,
Yeah.
Niggas,
I
so
think
pretty.
yeah.
I was gonna ask one more.
One more.
Deep dish or
Oh come on.
Regular.
regular?
Yeah, it's happening. There's nobody eating that shit. That deep
What?
dish shit.
The-
Ain't nobody. Y'all like deep dish shit?
I agree with you. I
It's
agree
good,
with you,
bro.
my brother.
It's good.
Okay. Is it better than New York style? No. Is it still like that bitch gonna bang every time?
It's solid, but like I eat deep dish like once a year.
Yeah, I'm not a deep
Like
dish
I'm eating
person.
tavern all the time.
I'm not a deep dish for our producer saying it is trash. Deep dish.
You know,
as
it's not
re-
trash.
It's not
just
trash. It's
fine.
just not my. I remember when I was a kid. I don't know if you remember this. Our dad would buy like frozen deep dish pizzas that he could make in the
Yeah.
microwave.
See, that's
I remember that. I'm pretty sure it was
That's
that
how he
nigga.
burnt
I'm
the
pretty
fucking
I'm
microwave.
pretty sure he
He
burnt the
almost killed us.
microwave.
Yeah.
with that bit before, and I was banging a deep dish before. Since then, I have not.
The
had deep dish
frozen
for real.
microwave deep dish killed it though.
I know, but
Yeah.
even authentic deep dish is just
Deep
like-
dish
Nah,
to
watch
me-
your mouth.
Deep dish.
It's not bad. It's just once in a few far between. Once in a blue moon.
I think the equivalent. A deep dish is like Times Square.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's but it's like something I'm proud of. The world knows us for it.
Yes.
But if you had a homie that was living in New York and you was like, yo, take me out, he took you to a bar in Times Square, he don't know where niggas go out in Times
Yeah.
Square.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
for tourists.
Yeah.
And that's how I see dip dish. It's kind of
There
like
it
it's
is.
tourist food.
True.
There it is.
Yeah.
I never really seen hella kids that I grew up with that was big on deep dish. I feel like
Nah.
if you've heard
But when
about
family
Chicago
come to
deep
town,
dish-
I take them to Giordano's.
Yeah.
They want
I
to
literally
eat the
said,
deep
I
dish.
said that I'm like, Giordano's a fucking ass, but it's like,
What do y'all think about Aurelio's though? Aurelio?
I would
You don't
take
like
Giordano's
Aurelio?
over Aurelio's.
I would take Giordano's over.
I take Giordano's over.
crazy.
that
You like
Aurelio's.
Aurelio's?
Oh,
That-
I
yes.
like Aurelio.
Bro,
I
what?
don't hate on it as much as other people do. You
That
like
shit
Italian
kinda
Fiesta?
Mm.
What y'all think?
Italian Fiesta is the second best pizza in the city.
Yeah.
Really?
What's the
I
best?
had
I gotta
it.
go there.
Vito and Angelo's. Nobody knows about it. This is this is
Yeah.
really-
Oh, it's
Bro.
exclusive. We gotta try.
We gotta take you to different
Best
restaurants that we got
pizza
around the
shit.
city too.
Yes,
Try that
I have
shit.
never had Italian Fiesta, but I will say Aurelio's got killed for me because those Aurelio's in our high school town, and everyone went there every
They
day
was
after
spamming that
fucking
shit.
school. I
Yeah,
was
spamming
spamming it. I was,
Yeah.
I can't eat that type of pizza no more. But Giordano's, it's still up there. It's still up there. I need to try that though.
I think Happy Campers got good. You ever had Happy Campers?
He love Happy Campers.
Yeah, but that's not like Chicago.
It's not
pizza.
Chicago.
It's not.
No,
It's like that
It's
gourmet.
like, it's like the like Cali, like New York, like hot honey
Yeah.
stop. I love that shit.
It's
though. That
solid
shit cool.
though. It's solid.
Yeah,
It's
solid,
cool.
solid.
That's a word.
And that concludes this Chicago ass episode. Thank you for stopping by.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Tell the
Appreciate
people where they
y'all,
can
man.
find you.
Yeah, shout out everything.
Where my camera at over there?
Yeah, right here, right here.
This one, yes.
Joshua Doss, you can find me on TikTok, on Instagram at Doss Discourse. We on there, you know, talking shit, talking about politics, economics, the world, X, Y, and Z. I also have a Patreon, Doss Discourse as well, where I put out the exclusive content.
Shout out
W.
Patreon.
Yes, sir.
Go follow him on everything.
Go tap in with y'all.
Please. Real
Please.
shit.
And if you fuck
Yes,
with me,
sir.
you gonna fuck with him. If you fuck with any of us, you gonna fuck with him. Thank you. It was a
Appreciate
pleasure
y'all,
having you as a guest. I hope you enjoyed your time.
man.
Everyone else at home, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Why haven't you liked the fucking video?
we don't, you think we doing this for nothing?
Hold on.
My nigga Allen out here, you think you can slack?
He
my
interrupted his
Number
trip.
one.
Like the
Number one, the boy Allen ain't here.
You
Tell
feel?
them where they gotta find, bro. Tell them where they gotta find us, man.
I'm supposed to know?
Yeah, it's the ritual. You gotta say on the J.
What?
The J. The J. Look.
Y'all ain't key me in.
Y'all gonna put him
He jumped on.
Yeah, y'all jump on them. Look, find us everywhere, nigga. Spotify.
Yeah.
Nigga YouTube.
Yeah.
Nigga Acast. Nigga Twitch. Nigga TikTok.
Please. Oh shit! I forgot.
Demonetization of chaos.
Yeah, everything.
Like the fucking video.
Everything
Like
else
the
in the
video.
link.
Real shit. It's the
Follow
jam,
us
nigga.
everywhere, man. The
This
Jam.
has been the Jam. Thank you guys so much
sir.
again. Have an awesome day or night wherever you may be, and peace.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for watching this long. If you haven't already, subscribe. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You think we just sitting here doing it for nothing?
You think you're gonna sit here and not
Need
do
to
shit? Like
eat.
this shit.
Click that I know you're not subscribed. Click it.
Cool.